me just right in the middle.
And you're just like,
And I have a hat that's being lowered.
Was I one of the fucking
you just
storms?
say a random game or whatever. It's like, Blizzard. I like Destiny 2.
Oh my gosh!
Okay.
I never,
And then they both
Destiny,
agree just
so
to
I don't
smash you.
really
You
stuff like
idiot.
that.
I will go officially on the record. I love Destiny 2.
Honestly, from what I've seen, the gameplay itself looks pretty good. I heard it doesn't have a very good story, so I just didn't play
The
it.
game could be horrible. The graphics could be horrible. Give me a bow and arrow, and I will play your game to the very end.
Oh, I didn't know Destiny had a bow and arrow.
My friend, there are some pretty epic legendary bows and arrows in that
Oh, I
game.
won't play it anyway because it doesn't have a good story, evidently.
I enjoyed
long
the story.
story, it's
I
better.
like Nathan
I like
Fillion.
long stories.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
a
it wasn't
shorter
that.
story.
It wasn't that long.
But
Are we live?
yes, we are.
Okay.
Oh.
We're talking about Destiny.
know what I'm
Yeah,
doing
and
anymore.
Destiny sucks for you guys. I'm sorry.
I'm still waving my hands because I don't know what I'm doing. Hi.
And
Welcome.
I think you're
saying-
throwing.
The funny thing is, you're talking to the camera
While facing the other
while
way.
facing the microphone.
Fair enough. I don't care.
That's why I moved his hand away from the camera.
Oh. Say bonjour.
Oh gosh.
So, anyway, the pizza's already done, and someone's double checking it and before it gets loaded up. So,
Cool.
yeah.
Yay for y'all.
So, anywho, last we left off,
Oh gosh.
everyone had finished up various errands in town, in the
I think
city
we
of
are-
Landon.
We are just after setting off, right?
We've already said it.
Getting there. I'm trying to recap what has been happening recently.
I wasn't talking about the recap. I was talking about the
I'm way ahead of you. Sorry, I'm grumpy tonight, folks. My sleep schedule has been screwed. Hello, Carl Foster. We miss you very much. We have Nate
Especially
keeping
reviews.
your seat warm for you.
Yeah, just for you when you
Your-
get back.
We're keeping it warm for your extremely large feminine behind. I just had to go there.
Keeping it extra nice and warm.
Okay. Anyway, that being said, everyone had finished up various errands and personal quests of various types in the city of Landon. And upon meeting an interesting seafaring captain without a ship in a tavern, certain people decided to become very jealous, or I should say, zealous is the word I was thinking.
Okay.
Um,
Jealous.
took the guy's plight in their own hands, ended up buying him a boat and helping charter his voyage to find an island of treasure in hopes of being able to take some of that treasure for themselves.
Please no coconuts.
Are you allergic to coconut?
No, this is gonna be. I keep picturing the island full of coconuts, and that is his treasure.
He's just crazy.
Yep, I'm rich.
He just starts rolling in the sand. Oh, this gold.
Okay. After that, in preparations to get ready, John decided to find himself a girlfriend to take on this voyage.
It's a long voyage.
And I guess we'll find out where that goes.
Yeah.
And through an amazing series of charisma checks on a poor widow lady, he now has a lady to bring along on a ship with a bunch of sweaty sailor men.
And a bunch of seamen.
You had to go there, didn't you?
You crossed your mind.
Just had to go there. It didn't cost my mind. My
We all
mind
know
is not that bad.
We all know
are
you have the
on
dirtiest
the
mind in this group. It's not a secret.
That's why you wear
Anybody
black.
who
On
cusses
the
as little as
seas.
you has a dirty mind.
So we are on the seas, good sir. Of course, that's what they're going to be called.
Iceberg cracks, you all die.
What is it?
There's
Iceberg cracks. There's no rocks to fall.
Honestly, if an iceberg
Icebergs
cracks,
in
it'd be
a
less
hot
dangerous.
sea. Oh, there's some issues here. There's an
Trying to
iceberg
crack a
in the
rib?
middle of the tropical seas.
I mean, it might have been a huge iceberg. It's not a small iceberg. Because it melted on the way.
Regardless,
Titan wakes up, you all die.
Titan wakes up. Fuck.
regardless, after preparations were made and everybody set sail, John the previous follower of the Demon Wrath, and the newly met friend of his, Carrick, found a private place to see if they could pursue his personal enlightenment a little bit, and ended up having some drastic results now with John sitting in front of Carrick with a mug full of vomit, and vomit all over his arm and in his lap and on the deck in front of him. And the captain
How much did you eat?
staring rather vaguely and surprised in at the nice brand new cabin floor that was going to be his cabin, and says, I'll go get more.
I'll take the room.
Vomit and all.
Vomit and all. I'll take this
the
room.
and as you're saying that, you hear thunk, 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 as he's walking away, shouting at someone in the distance to bring a mop and a bucket.
Can we start there?
Yeah, we're starting there.
All right.
I'm just out on the deck listening to people.
I point to you. I'm like, go to the side of the ship, please.
Am I able to walk at this point?
I
rolled a nat 1.
you can go ahead and try. Go ahead. Give me a dex roll. 10 will be enough to actually be
plus
able to
13.
walk. Yeah,
Yeah.
you should be good.
Do you have 13?
Yeah, I have a 3 for my dex.
Let me go ahead.
Plus 13 would be
Actually, no, 4.
13 decks.
Oh. Actually, no, I have... Oh. Joe, I forgot to tell you. I got here late, so I guess we'll do it at the end. Remember how I was telling you about like switching some of my stuff because I was confused about my stats?
You showed up late, so.
Yeah, that's why I said I'll do it at the end.
Oh, here's your.
Oh no! What'd you do to it?
You say,
Don't know. You're outside, and Carrick, Mr. Shield Boy, where's your Shield Boy? Yeah, so you're leaving the cabin. You can go where you like. Everyone can pretty much reach their figurines, so I won't be maneuvering them.
Where do you want to be?
Well, I'm trying to think. Pretty sure I'm not feeling too hot, so...
Nice placement. Well, actually, this would probably be closer.
Yeah, I just exited the cabin.
I was thinking
Right
just
here?
go around
Would he
this-
climb the stairs? Probably not.
So he goes over, past all this crap. Yeah. Throwing it.
Yeah.
Do you continue?
Are you still vomiting?
I don't know. Am I still
Is he still vomiting?
Roll a vitality check.
Oh boy. Hold on.
It was pretty high.
Yeah, 16 total.
16 total? You're fine.
Yeah.
You don't feel the greatest.
Ugh.
Getting over there
just
was a
leaning
nightmare and a
I'm
half.
just leaning just in case, just... Ugh.
Are you alright? Better question.
By the time he
What
gets
happened?
over there.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're fine. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go. Throw up.
Are you alright? Or better question. I'm not gonna make my thing move every time I speak.
I'm suddenly thinking to myself, we are suddenly grown-ass men playing dolls.
They're called action figures!
No, they are figurines.
Action figures!
Figurines. They're not opposable.
Can Barbie dolls. I feel left out.
Oh my gosh.
Good. No, are you alright? What happened?
I'm just gonna wave my hand up and go, no. Later. Ugh.
I just like pat your back lightly.
Okay, going back to you.
By the time he gets over there, does the bucket come?
The bucket does come, and it's actually being carried on the head of a couple Ishino, and there's one just walking in as he sways back and forth, and there's a couple more carrying a mop across both of their shoulders, and they're climbing up one on top of the other, and both of them holding the mop as they try to start mopping up the floor.
I'm like, I got it.
Okay.
I grab it. I look at the water before they start. Is this seawater?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if y'all use fresh water. I thought it would be a waste if it was fresh water.
Of course it would be a waste.
Alright. Well, goodbye.
We're gonna stay just on the outside of the attack the cabin. It's not like we're going anywhere.
You're not leaving this room?
We're leaving the room.
Bye-bye!
The one gets off the other. The three of them are just looking at each other kind of weird. Dang, he's weird.
I shut the door.
Okay.
And,
The wind
I kind of...
knocking Sheena over.
I'm looking at the vomit on me and on the ground. I'm like... I take the bucket and I kind of pour just some on the floor and on me.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to water manipulate
Okay.
to get rid of all the vomit that is in my lap and on my arm.
Okay. Roll a knowledge check.
Okay.
Not your best stat.
I didn't hear a word they just said.
Oh god!
Roll a 10.
Yeah, you're... I'll give it to you.
Well, I mean, you kind of played it off. Are you leaving? Bye!
It's...
Bye.
It was all well played.
Even if you didn't understand it, it's like, bye! Wait, but we're gonna clean up. Bye! Oh, okay, we're leaving.
You are very weird to them.
Okay, cool. 16.
16? What was your actual roll? 13?
13. Plus 3.
There's a little bit of residue left, but for the most part, you're able to get the water to clean most of it off.
Okay.
Awesome.
Some of your robes, it would probably be better if your robes were washed again, but, you know, for the most part, there's no more chunks.
That didn't just come off when I sprayed myself with it.
Not necessarily. I mean,
Okay.
it was
It
waffles
fun.
and carrots, apparently.
Waffles and cake. Is that what I had for breakfast?
That's what it looks like.
Oh.
Well, it might not have gone in that way.
Oh.
Is that rated
I
as a
could've
fail?
What was it, Dad?
That's a success.
Okay.
He's a daughter.
Oh yeah, now I remember.
He actually wrote down every single skill he wants to learn. And
Wait, that's 5 in a row?
Yes, it is.
is that a cleaning one?
It's water manipulation.
Okay, so there's different forms of water manipulation.
Okay.
This is the prestidigitation version of it. So, totally new this is the water clean skill.
I know this isn't technically on topic, but I've always wondered, is prestidigitation a physical thing or just an illusion?
Prestidigitation is technically a magical cleaning and removal of
So it's
dirt.
physical.
It's a physical magical effect.
No, I'm saying it's real. It's not just illusion.
Yes, it's not an
Oh, okay.
illusion. Yes,
Thank
it's actual magical cleaning.
Yeah, that's what I always wondered that because it never makes sense.
You could put down there vomit cleaning with magic.
Let's just put cleaning to keep it.
Water clean. I'm a simple man. My water manipulation was with me lifting up the water and making
Yeah, so basically
pretty much
that's
vines out of the water.
yeah, that's pretty much you're borderline on being able to make water float and stuff. You're more drenching something and then trying to suck it out of something.
What would be a better name for this?
Um,
For lifting
Honestly,
the water
water
and
manipulation is a good name for that because you're manipulating it.
well, everything I do, I'm manipulating the water.
Yeah.
a better name for it would probably
Water.
floating
Control?
water,
Water
control
shaping.
water,
I'll do control.
floating water,
Water bending.
flying water.
Everything
bending.
I want to be a firebender so bad.
I'm suddenly have the Pokemon theme going through my head. I wanna be the very best.
I've been playing Borderlands 3, and one of the characters has a loading screen. It's, do you want to be the very best, unlike all that came before you?
Okay.
Okay. Oh man, I am so nervous to do this. Just because.
How many
I'm
proficiency points do you have left for the day, by the way?
3.
Okay.
Marker.
Has to be a dry erase marker.
This one?
Nope.
No.
God, no.
Oh,
I just know it's a flat
Oh,
one.
there
That
it
works.
is.
Here it is. I knew it was a flat top one.
Oh, here's the rocks that fall
Let's
and
keep
everyone
that
dies.
in the middle.
Yeah, I'm about to use it again.
Spikes fall and everybody dies.
Stalagmites from the heavens.
It's really
dragon.
nervous trying to gain this skill. Because I have 4.
Hey,
And to
buddy.
do something I'm about to do.
Hey, buddy, I did it before. I failed, and then I succeeded afterwards, so...
The water that's on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna manipulate to bring into the bucket.
Okay. I would say that is a water floating situation, so this would be your role to see if you can succeed in first skill of water manipulation.
Okay.
So,
Somewhere, for some reason, in a dissolution C6 state, you just hear me from across the whole ship. You can do it. You feel great. I believe in you.
And I'm just pounding your back. It's worse than I thought. He's hallucinating.
I'm being delusional.
I call over somebody. We have a medic.
I grab a hold of the, I keep wanting to say amulet, so used to that. I grab a hold of the,
It's still an amulet, isn't it? No,
bracelet.
it's a bracelet.
A
It's
bracelet.
I knew it was a piece of jewelry.
I grab a hold of the bracelet, and I'm like, see, give me strength. I got this. And then I try to lift the water into the bucket.
okay. Dex check? Or no, knowledge check.
I mean, I'll take that dex check. No, just
Me and him are singing
Knowledge!
Good vibes.
my second lowest stat.
Oh.
What's your what's
10.
Okay.
There went all 4.
Nope.
It hurts.
Not even the sea helped you. He talked to the bracelet.
Which doesn't have any description of being a magical item or divine item
Well,
or
I think
anything.
It was more just a form
Wait,
of
is
prayer.
it still just 12? Does it still have a bunch of question marks on it?
Nope.
Nope, there are no question marks on that item.
It's just like, oh, here's a bracelet. Have
So
fun.
it's just a piece of jewelry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it twine or is it metal?
No, it's wood.
Oh, okay.
It has
So
to
like a
be.
chain?
Imagine the beads of a Shaolin monk, the big
I'm
ones.
wondering what's holding it together.
Little metal clasps.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna try again. My last point.
Okay.
Crying.
Yep, pretty much.
Oh,
That's a
20
success.
did it.
It's a 20.
That's a success. Yeah, congratulations. Leopold Lewis is back.
Oh, is that the guy who loves flirting with you?
Yeah.
Dude,
He says,
He's not
"What's up?"
into it.
He's up. What? He says, "What's up, gaydars?"
Does this mean you have the gaydar?
I don't know.
I set off the gaydar. I'm not kidding.
Sorry.
I'm suddenly hearing the robot from Lost in Space in the background. Warning, warning, Will Robinson.
I do set off the gaydar. Though. It's annoying.
Yeah. Say that in close proximity to Dakota.
I know who you're talking about. Why would that?
She's a lesbian.
I know. Why would that? Like, would she just say no, you don't, or something? I don't know. Like she already knows.
Yeah.
She,
So did all the water with the 20?
Yeah, you just back into the bucket.
Okay, I grab the bucket and the mop, and I look for the captain.
Okay, he's been standing there watching you toy around for a few minutes, and he's like,
doing some rather impressive
as
stuff.
you turn around with the bucket and the mop in your hand, he looks at you, looks at the bucket. That's a right neat trick.
It's actually really impressive.
I thought I shut the door.
Well, it didn't mean he didn't open it.
Yeah.
I didn't need to ask for a perception check because you're focusing right now.
Also, you're deaf.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hear him enter. Although you might want to try and make a checking for vibration skill or something.
Something of which he does not have proficiency in.
Uh-oh.
I know we don't have proficiency in observation. What does have proficiency in observation?
A person who takes a proficiency in observation checks.
Is it a general?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought it would be a class thing.
Actually, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that last week. Everybody, what's your general proficiency?
Oh yeah, agility. Okay.
Agility? Yeah, so you have it in agility.
mine.
Yeah, I
Yours
was
is in
thinking
agility.
before that. I forgot
Charisma.
about that.
Yours is in charisma, which is aptly appropriate for your character.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You're not very charismatic at the moment.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm throwing. Well, I was throwing up everywhere.
Shit,
Now I'm
man.
just C-stick.
Now I'm just rubbing your back like it's okay.
I don't hear
him.
Okay.
Let it out.
He just steps aside so you can carry the bucket out.
I look to him. I'm like, is it frowned upon to fight on equal terms?
He looks at you. Obviously knowing you're deaf because he's been around you enough, he's just like,
I place it down and I grab paper and the chalk.
he writes down on the
Sure.
paper, I don't know what you mean.
I wanted to practice.
There's our pizza, by the way.
There's a knock on the door suddenly.
I don't hear it.
It's a knock on the door.
I
so
paid
the first
for
mate
it.
Comes
I paid for it off my card, so.
Wait. I've heard of. Okay, is that just duct tape? Okay.
Come on up to the door. We got a guy here waiting for you. Thank you.
No one there.
Did he pull on past?
He's invisible.
You see
Turn on the green light on the porch.
You just see
Third one. There you
see
go.
some
No,
floating
he's
invisible-
parked right in front.
Pizza.
You see some floating boxes. Ooh.
It's spooked over.
He writes down.
Did you tip?
I tipped. Yeah, I tipped.
Oh,
the card.
okay.
He writes down. Someone wants to practice with you.
Dude, don't go beat up random crew members.
Good. Not me.
Such a problem.
I don't think finding a pin would be a problem.
Trade you. Pen.
You're right.
Yeah, that's actually kind of a problem.
I will.
Suddenly, everybody's crushed
Here.
by giant food boxes.
Piano bench.
Can you take the cushion off?
I was gonna say.
No, cushion can stay.
You just want to put it here?
I will stand.
We got a piano bench coming.
I'm still standing.
Move your.
I'm still standing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. From the movie Sing.
I
It's
watched
not-
that with my sister. It was stuck in my head for like 3 weeks.
It was probably the best song in the entire movie.
It was definitely the best song in the entire movie.
Bacon and pepperoni.
Oh, that smells good.
Ooh, that does smell good.
I wish I could smell.
I wish I could hear.
Real Trevor can't smell.
Trust me, Trevor.
Real John can.
Trust me, Trevor. You do.
Do I actually? I do
No,
have to ask that.
no, I'm kidding. I
That's
mean,
why
it's
I
like
shower twice a day.
it's like that Gonzo in the Alien Muppets from Space movie.
Yeah.
He's sitting there, no nostrils. How do you smell? And then Rizzo the rat's just over there in the corner. Oh, terrible. Trust me, I'm his roommate.
Yeah, I watched that one.
Which plate is okay?
Any of them? Grab me one too. Yeah, Lewis. Lewis, I'm getting tired of you.
At least have some
If you don't,
variety.
if you don't cut it out, I'm just gonna ban you permanently, so I don't have to keep dealing with blocking you.
You know, you could try flirting with somebody else.
He probably does. I bet you I know who it is, but you know I could be.
No, I mean,
Oddly
it's like
mistaken.
in the real world.
No, I know. I think I know who it is in the real world
Oh,
too.
okay.
So
Was it someone from work?
yeah, someone who used to be at work, or maybe it's currently still is. I don't know for sure. But regardless, Carl, because you're not here in person, I'm not running your character for you. So Carl's character, Marcy, is off doing her own thing, even though you're all on a 120-foot long boat.
She's doing inventory in her cart or something. Whatever, for the rest of the
She
day.
just like sleeps in her cart too while doing the inventory.
Inventory. Actually sleeping.
That's I'm gonna have to remember that. I work on the night crew with the restocking and receiving.
Not for long if you start sleeping at work.
I could just imagine. Could you just imagine order pick her up 20 feet in the air,
Somebody
the
brings it down.
strap across on top of some ACs or something, and Joe, what are you doing up there?
Inventory.
Inventory. He's like, okay.
Oh, by the way, about the costume thing, did you ever order your mask?
No, I did not. I keep forgetting.
I'm not going to order mine for another month at least.
Okay.
Because I'm not wearing a blanket in Florida until November.
Sorry, Carl. I told you, no, I'm not playing your character with him. Not running your character while you're gone.
He just doesn't want to flirt, that's all.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that.
He's terrified.
He doesn't want to go through the whole flirting scenario. He already said
It's gonna be like that classic anime moment: grapple, tackle to the ground, sitting there squeezing a boob.
Oh no.
You don't want him to play your character.
No, I don't.
He will scare me away.
Ugh. Give me a second. I need a fork.
Can you bring me a Dr. Pepper, please?
Sure.
You know, all of a sudden, I feel like I should have pitched in and got some pizza as well, but oh well.
Who the heck sticks a case of Dr. Pepper in the fridge without popping open the
Me?
lid and facing it out of the refrigerator?
Johnny boy.
I did.
John, you're fired.
I was nice enough to put it in the fridge. I didn't say I would open it.
Be careful. God is angry to me.
All of a sudden,
I'm a grumpy son of a birch tonight, so
you'd be like, all of a sudden, you're in the water, drowning, but as God's last choice will before you drown to death, you actually get your hearing back. Just to be cruel.
just all you can hear is the gods saying "F you."
That was not good.
Finally.
Okay.
And the Odin's just like, that is bad. Very, very bad.
I go right to him when I die.
Yeah. And then he's like, oh, welcome back.
Honestly, you're like, even like, you have with something that permanently, you could just like jump off a bridge or something and go to heaven right now.
But I may not be able to come back down.
I mean, like,
He's just
I
saying
think
it's an option.
it's an option, and you get away from wrath.
Do I?
I doubt that
What's stopping
wrath
her from
can-
getting there?
Well, don't you have something special that lets you travel to dimensions that she does not have?
I'm sure she could figure
here's
a
the
way.
thing, she's a demon. Or he's a demon, technically. Whatever.
It changes.
They, Zir, I don't know.
I'm not stereotyping out there. Letting you know. I realized how that sounded.
It's a baby. It doesn't matter.
It's actually
It always matters. You're gonna get angry, people.
No, I mean the gender doesn't matter. It's an
Unless you're
angry
trying to
demon baby.
reproduce.
With
Gender
the
very
baby?
no. If you're you said the general term gender doesn't matter. Gender does matter if you're trying to
No,
reproduce.
I said it's a baby. It doesn't matter. Let's stop before Nate hurts me. Actually, he's just in character.
Yeah.
So what does it say on the paper?
It's like, why is he talking about
He says,
babies
"Well, if
all
someone
of a
wants
sudden?"
to spar with you."
And that's fine. Cool. Thank you.
And he hands the paper back, looks at the new stain on the wood on his floor, and then he just moves around his desk and sits at his desk and starts unrolling.
For grabs as well, or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool.
Starts going over charts, pulling out his tools and whatnot.
Perception.
You're
To look at the map.
You're okay. You're standing there looking at his charts and whatnot as.
I just glance over at it as I
Okay.
leave.
Go ahead and roll.
I am too in a hurry to leave. A 10 total.
Okay. Yeah. You.
You have one
Their maps.
observation?
That's a 5.
Oh, I was
And
looking at
observation
this
is
one.
5.
I was looking at this die.
Cool.
Yeah.
I know I did the same thing. I looked, and my head went down.
Yeah.
Oh my god! You look. That actually fits you.
I don't know.
You look like.
He makes me think
You
of
look like Willy Wonka.
not Willy Wonka.
the color
he makes
needs
me
change.
think of
No, color's what makes it.
For me, when I saw him, the color needs to change, and the top of it needs to be
But
opened
I'm
up a little
colorblind,
bit.
so.
there's a character from a Charles Dickens story you make me think of.
Oliver Twist?
No,
I'm kidding.
no, it's one of his less known novels. Anyway, you walk out, dump the bucket over the edge of the ocean, over the edge of the ship. Yeah, the edge of the ocean, just off into the oblivion of space.
I mean,
Um.
no, this place has workers' comp, so I will never forget that they have workers' comp.
Hand off the bucket, I presume, to a couple of the Ishino fellows.
Yep.
What are you folks gonna do? We got you, and you.
I take out my
I'm staying
staff.
by him until he gets off the side of the ship.
Okay, besides not feeling great, is there anything else that's going on with my seasickness, or is that just pretty much it?
You just feel rotten as heck.
I just feel like garbage.
Have you ever actually felt seasick?
No.
Okay.
Have you?
You know that feeling of falling?
Yeah.
Okay, imagine the falling starting, and just about as it starts, it stops, and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. And then
So
it
like a roller
stops,
coaster.
and then it's up and down, up and down.
Alright.
I got stuck on the middle of the Mississippi River when the waves were 7 feet tall, in a boat that was not operating properly.
Sounds like one heck of a time.
It took everything we could to keep the boat pointing in the direction of the waves so that we didn't feel so seasick.
Or capsize.
Quick question.
Not so much.
So I'm out of for the water, but I have regular points.
Yes. Yes, you do.
Can I try to make him feel better?
Rub his tummy.
I'm pretty sure that was a
Nice.
holy alignment skill.
It's like I slowly lift
Um,
You said I could help calm people down.
That would still be part of your water alignment. Even though it's not physically moving water, it would still be part of the water alignment skill.
Okay. And I can't sacrifice a point from there.
Okay, I'm gonna like.
That being said, okay,
Could
so
I charisma roll it?
You
are
could
not
try.
feeling sick anymore.
I mean, heck, why not try?
It's a matter of mind.
Why am I rolling you?
Yeah, that's not how it works. Plus your
Charisma of 4?
so 20.
Good pat on the back. Some bro words of encouragement. You feel a little better.
thank you.
Just don't eat the eggs.
Wait, what?
I think of Sinbad a lot. From the animated.
That was one of the
Movie?
movies that was so cheesy, according to my parents, were not worthy of coming into the house as a child.
That was a great movie. It's
We got
also-
pickle and eggs!
Carl, your character is sitting on a wagon full of your stuff, probably falling asleep because you're not here.
Doing inventory. Just leave it
Wait,
alone.
hold on, wait.
It's gonna hurt you.
Marcy. Tee hee 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 hee.
Don't make me ban you from the table, please. I'm sorry, I have no patience tonight. I was up for 36 hours from Thursday night to Friday about midnight, and I crashed. And then I woke up at 8:30 a.m., and my body wanted to go to sleep about an hour later.
Why didn't you let it?
Because I wasn't about to lay down and start getting a headache from laying down for too long. Because I do that.
Oh, okay.
Alright, that being said, so I gotta find a way to get rid of the seasickness or find a way to start treating it. Besides this guy, these two surrounding me, who else is around? Just all
There's
these
various
guys.
people climbing up and around through the ropes and the rigging.
Is anyone not too busy? Or is everyone just...
There's a few people sitting around, tying up ropes, cleaning things, working supplies, getting stuff ready for, just general ship work.
I'm just gonna go up to whoever's closest, if they're not too busy or whatever. Hey, excuse me there.
Okay. Fella looks up at you. He's got a bit of a chin strap beard. Gray hair, bald on top. Yeah? What you want?
You look like a seasoned sailor. How do you get rid of seasickness?
Sail. A lot.
Anything you could recommend to drink that'll maybe keep it down?
Salt water, right, boys? And everybody just starts laughing at you.
Okay, I'm gonna grab your arm and like pull you to the side. Is there any empty, like, not empty? Is there like a 5x5 area that nobody's walking through at the moment, like on the side or something?
There's some open space.
Okay, I'm gonna walk over. I'm gonna sit him down, sit in front of him, and just say, "Close your eyes." This'll help with your seasickness.
Oh, and mermaid piss. Mermaid piss works great.
Mermaid piss.
Shush.
Soon as I get better, I'm finding you and I'm kicking your goddamn ass.
Okay, look at me. Now close your eyes.
Oh no, I say that to the guy as he's dragging me away.
Yeah, and he's pretty much all the other sailors are just laughing the heck out of you right now. They're just they're making good sport of a landlubber.
Yeah.
Are you gonna do what I say?
Yeah, I sit down.
Okay.
I cough
Take
angrily.
deep breaths.
Alright,
Slow breaths.
so
That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm just gonna sit with him and just now talk to me while breathing deep, without anything.
I'm gonna beat that guy.
What's your favorite animal?
I'm gonna say talk to you or whatever. It's like, well, I mean, as soon as I start feeling better, I'm going to kick that guy's ass.
This will make it so you do that
While
sooner.
that going
so
through
you
that,
won't kick
I'm gonna
guy's
go
ass.
see Stephanie. Check on her.
What?
Carry on.
He's like, you know, I might have been wrong about you. I think you're starting to turn out just fine, Regis.
Out of character. I think that's actually how it's gonna develop because I'm gonna start acting like you.
Oh no.
So she imprinted off of me.
Yeah. Like a nicer version of you.
A more romantic version of him.
Yes, as
Oh,
you are
yes.
the only one on the boat without a girlfriend.
Aww.
Man, you don't know. We'll go to dock, or like I said last week, we'll
That
go
was
dock.
still out of character.
Say, why they're going to go to a pier to another port town, and I can find someone there, or like I said last week.
Please don't repeat that again.
I know I won't. I saw Joe's face. He's like, "Don't make me relive this memory, please."
He's furious. Okay, anyway. So just talk to me. What's your favorite animal?
There are certain advantages to building a 13-year-old boy for your character. You
Dude.
don't have to deal with a lot of that stuff.
Dude, like, those are the worst people in the world.
13-year-old?
Yes. I had a horrible middle school at the time.
Sure, everyone did.
Okay. Anyway, so what's something you want to talk about?
You know, I can't really think of anything off the bat. Is there anything you want to talk about? Maybe I can
Aw.
help you with while you're trying to help me calm down,
Well, I
so I
can
can
use,
kick this guy's ass.
honestly, to do with kicking that guy's ass. Do you think you could help me learn how to fight properly?
Maybe we might use some mercenary experience. Like, what are you trying to learn exactly when it comes to fighting skills?
You've seen me with my shield, right?
I don't think I have. No, I don't think I have it all.
Okay.
You might have brandished it, but I don't think my character might have been fully paying attention.
I take out my shield and I put it on my arm, how it is, point forward. And then I press the little button and the blade pops out. I fight with this and a short sword. Dual wielding. I'm not very good at it. I would like to learn the basics of swordsmanship
I mean, I do have a
and
sword.
possibly dual wielding.
Don't know if I can help you with the dual wielding part, but with training with a sword, I could definitely help you with that.
Thank you. How long has this conversation gone on so far?
It's taken a little bit, 5,
Okay.
20 minutes, somewhere in that region.
Am I
Okay.
starting to feel a little better?
That's how it usually
Roll a
works.
vitality check.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
yeah.
Nat 20.
You are better.
Yeah, you seem to have overcome your, blatant,
Between
issues
my
with
20
seamanship.
Yeah.
and you.
Yeah.
That being said, I was like, this is working out. Now, if you really want to see a good brawl, why don't you observe real quick?
I grab your arm and say, real quick, don't just attack him. You'll be thrown overboard. Challenge him first.
I mean, that was the idea.
Well, I've seen you be very aggressive before. And I just point over at him.
I'm not standing there anymore.
Oh, well, I point over where you were, and I go, remember the night we met John? Wait, your name's not John to us, it's Sinbad,
It
right?
is.
Sinbad.
Yeah, Sinbad.
Remember the night we
Remember, I
met
changed my
Sinbad?
name.
Yes, Sinbad, of course.
And as you're pointing
Your
over
bro?
to where he was standing, it's just that anime outline that shows where he was standing, and then an arrow pointing ding, 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 that says gone.
Exactly.
Where did he run off to?
Anyway,
Anyways, yeah.
okay, go ahead. I will follow behind him a little distance away so I can see what's going on. While we're walking over, can I
Yes.
look and see if I can find him?
I just realized you're wearing 2 of the primary colors tonight.
But yeah, since I'm feeling so much better, I'll go find that nice chap again, put my hand on his shoulder, and say, feeling much better now. Why don't you take me up on that offer of me kicking your ass?
It's about this time he takes a knot that he's been tying and working and reaches down to the side, grabs a hold of something wooden, and just as he's about to loop a loop of rope around your wrist, he pulls the thing out and he slips and he ends up launching himself about 20 feet up into the air, and he's dangling from his wrist. And he's just screaming and sailor cursing, and he's like, and all the other sailors are laughing
I'm
their
laughing
butts at him. And finally he
He's-
stops and he's just dangling, and a couple Ishino are climbing up the sails to get him back down and whatnot, and he's like, well, that didn't go as planned. Ugh.
Yeah,
We're
neither
learning what not to do.
Oh, not to do.
Yeah, wait, I'll take it.
But yeah.
What?
I was like, I mean, if I were you, I'd just leave him up there for maybe a few more minutes.
Roll a charisma check.
Can I pay you a buck for a slice? I'm suddenly hungry seeing all the pizza.
Hold on. And then you said it was a D4 for my proficiency.
You want the buck?
Huh?
You
Don't
want the
worry
buck?
about it. You brought soda tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
I'm immune to all food costs.
Don't tempt me.
I'm cute.
You're cuting? That's not working very well.
I mean, he did get the pizza.
10.
Yeah, then Ishino eventually, pull
Wait,
the
were you actually
right
trying
plugs
to
and
convince them
everything.
to leave them there?
I said for a few more minutes,
Oh.
just leave him up there dangling.
Yeah, they get him down, and he brushes himself off. Well, that was unexpected anyway. I was
Yeah,
just joshing with you.
And it's like, yeah, that's. I'll just keep on with it. Just be like, yeah, that was a cute trick. And as I'm walking by, I'll just walk past him. It's like, not even worth my time.
Better get used to it. We're all like that. It's about this time that you've gone looking for Stephanie. You actually end up going down to the deck underneath. This is where a lot of work is being done. Cannons are being mounted and cleaned and stuff. Not all the work was done on rigging the ship. It was loaded on the ship, but not all of it was put into place. So a lot of work is being done here to get cannons in position, to start practice. The smithing forge is towards the nose of the deck, and that's being worked and everything. At the rear end of the ship, is actually the kitchen area. And you find Samantha is down there chewing out the cook. And the cook is obviously, huh? I'm sorry, Stephanie. Did I say Samantha again?
Yeah, you said Samantha.
We miss you, Samantha.
We miss having 3 Sams.
Oh my gosh.
3 Sam.
By the way, my character was named Sam, if you don't remember.
I remember that.
Until I renamed him Danny.
Tell you when you first introduced him. Hi, I'm Sam. It's like there's 3 of you. We'll have like Sam 1, Sam 2.
I like how
Sam
people
3.
use the woman imitation when they imitate my voice.
Well, I mean, didn't your character look like, even though it was a
Yes, I made a trap
girlish
by
feature?
accident.
Yeah, you made a trap by accident, so of course it was only like appropriate. And then you did come out with like, you did persuade Carl's character, Monroe, to buy you a lady's fur coat, so...
Oh, it definitely fits my character. I was just making a joke.
I finally reported Lewis. He keeps spamming stuff in the chat. He's getting ridiculous. I gave him 3 times. I gave him plenty of warnings. Anyway, the cook is obviously not exactly taking it well, but it's obvious she's taking charge of the cooking of this voyage.
Oh.
Oh no.
You'd just be like...
Can I? Nope.
No, you cannot read her lips. You're close.
Yeah, I know.
Not quite enough.
Is there any words I can
No.
see? Okay.
No.
There's
There's a lot of motioning towards barrels that aren't exactly put in places that are sanitary.
Oh no, it's a dirty kitchen.
It's an unorganized mess down there, and you know she's helping keep things clean, organized.
I walk in and ask what I can do to help
She looks at you and she just
with a smile.
stops and she's like, she's waving at you and she's like, "Go, shoo." You get this look on her face like she's actually having fun just for a split second, and then she's like, "Go."
Okay. All right.
Here to say...
And the guy looks at you and he mouths something, and he looks exasperated, but you don't get anything from it.
He's probably like, saved me. But you're just like...
Rose before hose, man.
All
Help.
right. I go upstairs and ask who wants to fight.
Everyone, roll a charisma check.
Everyone says me.
One at a time. Just want a little practice. I don't want to get rusty. Oh.
Let's go kick someone else's ass.
Sure.
12 plus
Charisma 4. So 16.
16. Everyone's pretty busy right now. There's a
What
lot
about
of business
the
going on.
dark-skinned, the guy that cut the rope
Mhm.
and
First
flipped?
mate?
Yeah, the first mate.
Yeah, he's actually giving a lot of orders, directing, navigating the ship.
Can I hear him?
You heard him, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a small amount of space. Pretty much everybody can hear everything on this ship.
I'll fight you.
Well, we do need to talk. No, wait, hang on. Can't say that. Yeah, I don't know what you're saying.
No, I
You
mean,
see-
like, I
You
wave-
shout that you're looking out across the deck,
You just see,
and
like,
he
my
looks, and
fingers.
hand goes up. You do pretty much only see the fingers above all the heads that are on the, of everything.
It's like I slowly lift him up too.
Oh yeah, you're standing next to me.
Ah,
Can
Spaniard!
I just wave both arms?
I'm kidding, I'm not picking you up.
Oh.
Aww.
But no.
Toss me.
Hey, toss. Oh. We should make that a skill.
That was our idea.
I can see him looking back. Don't tell Marcy.
If we make another set of characters, he'll make a Goliath, and I'll make an Ishino that wears heavy armor with spikes on it, and he'll have a slingshot for a weapon, and he'll just shoot me at people.
I could just see the fan art. You, tears coming out of your eyes, hammer
No.
behind your head.
Very willing, having fun with it.
No, as in you're moving so
okay.
fast, your eyes are welling up with tears, and it's just like,
Balled up like an armadillo.
I was
Anyway.
in my head. You've already found like Earth, the power of Earth, And you're like, as you're going, everything is turning around rock around you as you're spinning, and spikes are coming out of you.
Oh god! I think you know Earthbender would be so much fun.
You're like, huh! And then enter like a golem.
The size of a Goliath, just like,
No.
you want some, bitch?
No, you should just be like,
You want some, bitch?
Oh my gosh.
Speaking of that, I read the funniest little meme today. If two pregnant women start fist punching each other and fighting, does that mean you got two babies in mecha suits fighting?
Yes. I've read that before. It is true. That is what's happening. Anyway.
Okay.
So how do you like respond to my wave?
Take my staff out and start walking towards you. A lot of traffic.
Some people are making room, pulling back, making room.
Okay. I get up to you.
Do you have your notebook?
Mhm.
I'm gonna just like, thank you, and thank you. What the fuck is it?
There's nothing in my hand.
roll an observation check.
here's a,
No, that was my reaction. If
No.
he does that, I say, what the fuck? Do I really have to roll an observation?
Yeah, roll an
check for that?
observation check.
12, I think. Yeah, 12.
You
I noticed his hand is empty.
you go to grab something and then you realize that it's empty and it's like,
What the fuck?
I have a smile
Then
on
I-
my face.
And I write down, what the fuck?
I'm just playing.
Okay. Anyway, I need practice not being hit. Just assume I'm writing what I say. So I don't have to constantly make the motion.
that reminds me majorly. New change to the rules this week.
Okay.
Until further notice. Because, Dungeons and Dragons has an armor class. If they roll high enough to hit you, you just take straight damage.
yeah.
I've been thinking about that. Listening to the critical role, seeing the streamline and everything. There are now going to be two ways you can avoid damage.
Oh.
One, you can dex out of it. If you fail, you take full damage.
Alright.
One, you can buff it and just take your defense against it.
So
You don't.
can just tank it?
You can just tank it, but you only take off your defense value.
Okay.
Dex, you'll get to roll against it, and actually,
You can't say we take our decks off of it because we dodge that much.
I would say that you can roll for both of them. You can roll for your defense value plus your roll. But if you do not... I would say for buff, taking it off of your defense, you don't roll against it. You just tank it and you minus your defense off of it. If you dex out of the way, you will take the full brunt of it.
With a chance of missing it completely.
With a chance of missing it completely. So it will be up to characters to decide whether or not they want to try to tank a blow or dex a blow.
Alright.
And it will determine, it will be determined heavily on how you end up building your character. You as a monk, you have, what's your defense like?
Defensive 7.
Defensive 7?
It's my second highest.
And your dex is what?
5.
Okay, so you could take a chance at dexing out of the way and rolling a full-on move.
Don't
and
tell Marcy. What?
Yeah. Did he send you home early again?
On lunch break.
You're on lunch break?
Oh, okay. So you
You're
literally
seriously-
just came here to yell. Fucking-
You seriously took a lunch break, 20-minute drive all the way from work just to come in, scream at us for 2 seconds as you jump through the door, and then run back to work.
Honestly, you messed it up too. You were supposed to yell at me.
I don't remember who said it. I wasn't really watching.
No, because I'm the one who would have said it. Ryu's.
All of us heard when I was on my way when I heard it. Right.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You know the scene in Lord of the Rings where he goes, toss me. I did that with Carrot.
I can stay here for a little bit though. I can stay here for maybe, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering why someone was running an engine so loud in the area. Anyway, find a chair, I guess.
Play for 15 minutes.
There you go.
Play for 15
You can say what
minutes.
you're doing this whole thing.
Woo!
Okay.
Say, what am I gonna do?
I'm gonna take a nap and just do inventory.
Oh, there you go. Time to go.
Okay. Did you hear that joke or
But don't tell Marcy.
no? The inventory joke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's why he said it.
No, I'm wondering if that was parallel thinking.
Okay. No, if that was parallel thinking, we'd have to call Lowe's and tell him, yeah, he doesn't need to come back to work. He's a brilliant genius, and he doesn't need to work for you guys anymore.
No, parallel thinking is just where you have the same idea as someone else.
Did your roommate come
Yes,
home tonight?
and geniuses have parallel thinking. Great minds think alike.
Yes.
So, he would be classified
But
as
so
a
do
genius
idiots.
after that. No, idiots just do the same thing and mimic each other.
It's not.
That's the same idea.
Don't argue
No,
with me.
fucking
I'm
use
just
what
being a joking
but it's
trickster
hot in
tonight.
And I'm doing the same thing. Anyway,
I'm just gonna.
so what are you doing this whole time?
No fucking. I haven't thought any of this.
She's taking inventory and taking a nap at the same
Alright.
time.
Let's
Will
just
the
say
hat
you
help
do
you
that.
think?
The
Now-
thinking cap.
You have to wear that back to work now, and you have to wear that the rest of the night at Lowe's.
I don't think they'll allow it.
They might
Actually, they don't. He has to have the name Lowe's
Yeah.
imprinted on it.
That's why I said that.
Oh, nice.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Just write Lowe's on it in marker.
No.
Oh, God, no.
Like a
Ooh.
sticker.
Washable marker.
Like a sticker.
Yeah, just put stickers, Lowes, on the side.
L-O-W.
Low.
I would do low on one side, and then the and symbol on top, and behold on the other side. Lo and behold. Okay.
Okay, so this is all.
It's you two,
Yeah.
determining whether or not you're going to fight each other.
That is right.
Yeah, because he's just gonna do that. He's gonna do the inventory.
Okay.
And map.
All right. So yeah, is there a big enough area in this spot?
It's a
We're in the middle of a
cramped...
crowd.
It's
I know,
in the
that's
middle
what
of
I
a...
was asking.
I mean, there's really not a place for sparring on the entire ship. The ship is not a location for fighting unless you want to try climbing around and hanging from stuff while you're fighting.
How about in between these two?
You could give it a shot.
How big is that area? Would you say?
That's where the first mate is busy navigating and keeping
Where
an
the
eye on
boats are?
stuff.
That's what
Yeah,
that's
it's
Navigating
the
would be
boats
here.
are up there, but he's back here. There's a guy standing in front of here, and this guy's back here observing,
No,
watching.
navigation
Look,
takes place to the side of the
just
right.
because you've watched a lot of movies where the first mate is standing next to the guy steering the ship using his sextant does not mean the guy's gonna stand there and navigate from there.
Been on plenty of boats.
I lean over. Hey, is there a bigger area with not a lot of people? Anywhere on this boat?
And they look at you and they get a look. They look around at each other, and they're like,
I don't want to hit anybody with my staff.
"Then
Outside
don't swing it." And everyone is obviously laughing. Try, go ahead and roll to see if you can read the lips.
Oh,
just
read
jump in
lips.
the water and start swinging your staff there.
11.
11. Not with him.
Okay, I'm gonna grab your shoulder and say, let's do hand to hand, and go down to the bunks. Our bunks, the larger area,
Okay.
because the higher ups wouldn't be in the rooms right now.
So you go to the poop deck, and quite aptly named. This is the room with your bunks in it.
Zipu.
How big is this area?
5 feet for every square.
Okay, that's plenty of room to fight. Get off the bed.
So basically, you have to stack up the tables in the corner.
Your strength checks that.
Just clearing the room, basically. No one else is really interested in this. Everyone else is busy, unless you're gonna follow them.
Yeah, I'll follow.
Okay.
Just so to give him pointers to see what he does right or wrong or whatever. So I'll just be off to the side.
Okay.
I look to you. You owe me a new robe.
You kind of do.
I'm gonna say,
Still can't get it.
Nope.
It's
With-
amazing that the word "yeah" is hard to read the lips of.
Okay.
So I'm like, hand to hand,
Yes.
kicks.
Yeah, anything hand to hand. Okay. Assume I'm writing still. I don't want to have to do this every time. Hand to hand. Hand to hand, anything that's not a weapon. You're
I
not
don't
my
say
type.
anything, and I am a weapon.
I was about to say, I think he's referring to himself as a weapon.
Legally registered.
Only in 12 countries.
You know what I mean, smartass.
I'm
If
over
you
here-
think that's smart, wait till you see up here. I'm like, okay.
Even deaf, you can just feel the.
You know, I could see his frustration in the way he's talking to him, actually like calling him names, and I have a little tear on the side of my eye. He's turning out to be just like me.
Speaking of which, I got my mark of excellence
Yes.
on my UDES 3.
Anyway, so, are you ready to start? Okay, I'm gonna go put my stuff over the side, all my weapons. I'm gonna take off my cloak,
All right, roll initiative between the two of you.
and then
Make sure you
So-
both use the same dice.
I'm gonna stand about 6 feet away from you.
Alright, so, what are you trying to do exactly, Chris?
I'm basically practicing not being hit.
Not being it? Okay, so at least I'm gonna know what to observe from you to see what you can.
Wait, what do I roll for initiative?
Whatever you rolled, he rolls too.
No, I mean, which one do I roll?
It
You
doesn't
already
matter.
rolled.
Oh, okay.
Just as long as you
roll a
both roll the
D20.
same dice.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
You rolled a 4, I rolled a 14.
So he goes first, obviously.
No.
I-
1-to-1 action point combat.
Okay.
Okay. I kind of just get ready, because I'm not going to be really...
I go for a
attacking
grapple.
Okay, roll a strength check.
much. And I... Okay.
Strength of 9.
So 21. I'm just gonna try and spin out of the way, basically.
Dex check it, yeah.
22.
22
Nope,
to
21.
your...
21.
And what was yours?
21.
They tied.
That would be tied. Go ahead and re-roll it in this case, since it's player to player.
Ooh. Ow.
I win.
Yeah. So he dodges out of the way.
Okay.
Small, nimble.
And I dodged to the side, so I'm beside him,
Mhm.
and I just elbow him in the arm.
Okay,
Try
roll
to.
an attack. Are you going to dex it or tank it?
Tank it.
Do I add strength to that?
Yeah, add your strength to that.
10.
21.
Are they-
Defense.
You don't get to
I
roll
have-
your defense against it if you take... Oh, you're tanking it?
I'm tanking.
Okay, so you don't roll your defense with it. You
Okay.
just tank it with your defense value and
And
reduce
I-
the damage by your armor, basically.
Okay.
So,
So 7.
I'm making this a skill
Is my defense.
counter.
okay, what element do you operate on again?
I'm fire.
You're on fire? Okay.
Alright,
That's
Chris.
gonna be... Okay, so I talked to John about this ahead of time. We did in between sessions and you weren't here.
Is there gonna
Fire is a more aggressive, non-counter type of... it's take actions on your turn, but you get to take more than usual. That's what your skills and element are built towards. Water is not the counter style. You may be able to build a counter type of skill, but it will be difficult.
Why would more aggressive mean not counter?
More the way the wheel works in my game is fire is faster and more aggressive. Water is all of the elements can still be aggressive, but fire is the
Which one
rage.
Which one counters then?
Water.
Okay.
Because
Water
water's
is
like the more-
water is the counter action because of the way fire moves
Which
versus the way water
Kind of
moves.
sticks for me because I was going to build my character for attacking a lot. So it's like, okay.
Now you're
So
over defensive
I
type.
still want to do
Grappling.
That, so what do I do?
You can still roll to try to make it a skill, but you probably won't get it past tier 1. And it will probably take you more than 5 times to get it to actually make it a skill. It's difficult.
What kind of stuff would I make a skill out of in combat?
Multiple actions for a single action point, multiple attacks are the kinds of things that fire do. Extra damage, ways to increase your rage. Think of Goliaths, barbarians, aggressive, very aggressive, sporadic fighters.
Do you know
Okay.
if your roommate's coming home tonight?
Pardon?
Do you know if your roommate's coming home tonight?
I don't. He was majorly pissed that we stayed late last time. He wants us out by 10:30, basically. So
Fuck your roommate.
I'd rather not.
Please
though.
Maybe let him just shut up. I don't know.
He's an extremely passive-aggressive person.
Well,
I can't be the
my
babysitter,
call.
Be safe.
so keep doing it, correct?
Okay, so after that, I'm going to try and attack again. Just really quickly.
So are you gonna go ahead and roll for the encounter? You can still do it, but it's gonna be harder
Okay,
to make
so
a skill.
Let's redo that then. Okay.
What
I
was the
rolled
first
this,
attack?
The first attack was your grapple.
Which
No,
was-
I'm sorry. I said his first attack.
He waited because you had the higher initiative. He grappled. We stopped him at his first action.
So
He
I'm
attacked me
current-
and I used my defense.
He was going for an elbow counterattack.
Okay.
So that's why I stopped him mid-sentence,
Okay.
basically, and talked about that because the elemental differences between the characters have not been ironed out properly. I don't have them written down. That's why it's frustrating.
We do need to write this stuff down.
Yeah. That being said, so
Okay,
you're
so
you're
I'm still
basically
to the side of him.
Mhm.
I'm going to. I still want to elbow him,
okay.
but I want to kind of do. I'm going to be very spinny when I fight, basically.
Okay.
I'm a ballerina. Anyway, I'm gonna elbow him and try and knock him to the side a bit, and then I'm gonna punch him in the back.
Okay. So you're gonna try to land a double blow, basically.
Yeah.
All right. In that case, just do a skill double blow or however you want to name it.
Okay.
With fist, with leg.
It
Specific?
doesn't need to be
This
specific.
one, I'm just trying to be general.
This is
because I
general
do it.
unarmed combat.
This is practicing because I do it. So.
This will be basically a proficiency point spent on your fire alignment.
Okay. And
I'm
do
gonna
they
need
all
to
have elemental,
Alignment, yes.
like
I would
elemental
say.
proficiency points, or this
No.
just can be
This
quiz?
he
Okay.
has a special skill. These are your
Yeah, I
regular
was wondering if
proficiencies.
that was how it was because
Yeah.
you said fire. Okay, so I have yeah, my brain shut off. Thank you.
I've been there.
So I have 7 left. Okay, so D20, D10, what? Because I'm using proficiency point,
Yeah, D20.
so that'll be a 10.
10 does land in the failure bracket. So
I
you
thought I was rolling against him.
are you gonna? You were tanking it, right? Okay. As far as the skill will not. You're not proficient enough in this for the skill to actually mark everyone a success. But since he's tanking it, you will still deal damage.
Okay,
So go ahead and roll for 2 attacks.
so that'll be 21 and 23. So that'll be
And
20,
your defense
44.
value is 7.
Holy shit!
So-
I did 44 damage.
Minus 14, because you
So
subtract it for
I
each
did
roll.
30 damage. That's still pretty impressive for me.
So
How much total?
30.
yeah, 30.
30. That out.
Okay, now it's your turn.
I'll go for the grapple.
Okay.
You gotta dodge to the side again. Try and get behind him.
Okay. Dexing out of the way. That's 7, I believe, is a failure.
Yeah, I got 8, so 15. Yeah, you win.
So you grapple him most definitely. Are you gonna do something with the grapple or just grappling him?
What am I allowed to do without it being a skill? I am burning a point.
You are burning a point, so you can specify as part of the
We
skill.
are friends fighting, so.
If you're just gonna grab him, that definitely makes succeeding easier. But if you're gonna do something with the grapple,
I probably would just go for a nice reach around, grab around his arms, squeeze and lift up.
okay, that
Something simple.
yeah, that's just a grapple. That's just a straight grapple. That's considered. That being said, you won't deal damage, but you are restrained and you are not able to attack at the end of your turn. You need to roll a strength check, and if you fail it, you stay grappled and you lose your turn.
Okay. Is it still
So
your turn?
nope, he's done.
Okay. Plus 6, so that's 11.
That's gonna be a failure. Yeah, it's just go ahead and roll to see if you roll. Yeah, 10.
19.
Yeah, you
Okay,
are.
I'm
You
saying
lose your
just
turn.
Let him roll.
Yep.
So.
So now you have access to your turn again.
I'm going to jump and slam down.
Pile drive.
You're gonna kill me. I have 44 health.
Okay. Considering that you cannot dex, you're gonna have to tank this.
Yeah. So my defense is
16.
16 damage.
4.
You don't get to roll it on a tank move. You just use your straight defense
okay.
off of it.
So yeah, minus 4, so 12 damage.
12 damage, and you are still grappled on the ground. You can go ahead and roll your strength check again.
Oh, I have 54 still. Health. 12.
You might get out of it.
Yeah.
42.
While this is going on, I'm just gonna yell at Reese. Do you want in-match coaching or no?
Oh my god.
Can I not use my turn and still respond?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
All right. Judging from the situation he's in, like, could I?
Yeah,
roll?
he strengths out of it.
19.
You're prone on the ground, but you are not
Okay,
grappled.
When I strength out of it, I wanna. Can I specify what I'm doing?
Yeah, you can use your action this
Okay.
turn.
No, when I'm getting out of his grip.
Sure.
So he has me. He's on top of me still.
I would imagine so. He pile drived you.
No, I'm saying, did he get back up?
I would say
No,
no.
I
he's,
was still,
he's-
I was still grappled.
Okay.
I'm on top of you.
What I do is I kind of wiggle my legs behind me and kick you off.
Would that be strength?
that would be
That would be
that,
strength.
that would be a strength check again. This would be a non-damage attack, so just a strength check.
17.
I don't think that.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
yeah.
You're thrown back about 10 feet. So, whee!
Is he prone?
He is not prone.
He got a nice cushy landing. I know you moved it.
Dex for a flip.
Sure.
And then
For flavor.
can I still use my turn after that?
No, that is your action to throw him.
Okay.
So it is back
11.
to you.
Let him do
It was
he's
kind
just
of a
being
nice
fancy.
spin.
It's kind of a nice spin.
But it's back to your turn again.
What were you saying while I did that?
No, I was gonna tell you.
How much?
I was gonna ask
How
him for
how
something.
far can I move and still do a grapple?
Considering he stated at the beginning of the thing that he was 6 feet from you, that's basically within melee distance for you, so that's why you were able to attack straight out the gate. He is 10 feet away from you now, so you would need an
Damn,
action.
I kicked really hard.
Yeah, you sent him, staggering backwards. You would need to use an action point and give him a turn of action before you could actually attack. Unless you used a proficiency point to try to
Charge.
combine them. Yeah.
So, you're charging? Oh no.
Quick question. So, I got the grapple,
Mhm.
and then he outstrengthed my grapple.
You still succeeded.
It does not fail the success on the grapple.
Double
Grappling is
checking.
the actual grabbing.
Cool. Just
You're
double
still good
checking.
on
Yeah, I'll burn another point.
Okay, so
that. Oh, for another
2.
grapple?
A charge grapple.
Okay.
Okay.
Would that be the same
so
skill?
moving in, I would say range would be 10 feet tops.
And I'm gonna try and dodge out of the way.
Since I did offer in-game coaching or
19.
whatever, would I be able to do anything or no?
Is that a strength check? For a charge
Grapple?
Grapple.
Okay.
Yeah, he's moving and grappling.
23.
23 to
19. So he wins.
19. Yeah, you throw him off and he
Give
just
me my coaching, please.
right back up in your face and grappling you again. Seeing
Thanks
as
for
you're
helping
not
me
in the
out.
fight, you can give him advice on what to do.
I kind of turned my head to the
But
side. You said, "Thanks for
You're
helping
not a
me out."
bard, so you do not have inspirational skills. Unless you want to roll with disadvantage.
Well, he's not really trying to inspire me. He's teaching me.
Yeah, it's teaching. I was just gonna see if I could maybe add it to my leadership tactician to tell him what he could do in this situation.
Since you do have proficiency in leadership and tacticians,
I'm not inspiring him. I'm just telling him this is what you could do in this situation. Try this or whatever.
that would technically give him a tier 1 advantage if you were successful on the charisma check.
Okay. Wait, so it would be a charisma
That's
roll
a D.
for that?
That's
Yes.
a D4. The tier 1 is.
Can
D4.
I roll to hear?
You can try. You're not reading lips, so
True.
that would need to roll a 20 on a 12 dice.
I rolled twice.
Don't make it impossible.
I guess. Yeah, I just rolled for it to see if I could tell what kind of situation he's in and how he can get out of it.
That's
Yeah,
what I was
sure.
gonna ask. With the
Wait,
charge.
hold on. Before that, what would I have to roll to beat that or whatever?
Roll to beat what?
I don't know if I'm trying to make this a skill or whatever. The leadership tactician thing.
Leadership tactician instruction. I would call the skill instruction.
Instruction.
And
Wouldn't it be the same thing? Because you said I got a skill. in it
that's a
last
proficiency in it. You could
Yeah.
build multiple skills off of leadership and tactician work.
Time. Oh, okay.
So this would be particularly one-on-one instruction, giving person advantage in their next action by giving verbal advice.
Alright, do you have to roll for something I have to beat or?
You're gonna need to roll a good charisma check, and you're gonna need to roll against it.
Against? So
Against
he
it.
has to get higher.
Yes, yes, he has to get
Oh,
higher
so
than
it's
you.
a charisma thing.
This shouldn't be hard. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah, you won.
he won. Okay, so
'Cause
you get to
that's-
take a
that's
D4
allowed.
on your next action.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just be like, yeah, you gotta do the doohickey with the thingamajigger. And
Okay. You see a tiny man fighting a tall man. Come up with something to say. Aim for
Joe.
his nuts. I don't know.
It's actually, well, how is
So-
he holding you? How's he
That's-
holding
He's
you?
got
What
me
I'm-
in full Nelson.
That's what he's trying to do. He did not state a full Nelson. He just
Oh.
grabbed you.
Oh,
So
he
right-
kind of
wait,
did this movement, so I
Wait,
thought
so
that's
how?
what he did.
Wait, so how's he holding him at this moment?
You're shouting this as he's running forward after he just kicked him off. So he's not currently holding, he's charging.
Oh.
So
okay.
going back to you, how are you describing your grabbing him?
Okay. I'm charging, and
Sorry.
it's okay. Picking up, using the momentum, if it's okay.
Mhm.
Fall.
Okay. So another pile drive off.
Ow.
Okay. You already rolled for the skill success, correct?
Yes.
What did you roll?
24.
24. Okay. Roll a. You said you were dodging out of the way.
Yeah.
And
He
you
already
rolled.
rolled.
Yeah,
you
I rolled. I
dex-
got a 19.
You
I
got a
lost.
19. Okay. Since you hit the mid-20s, I will still give you that success. Anything lower than 20, and that would have been a failure, because that's 3 stipulations in a single item.
Right.
So,
I was just trying to
yeah.
use the momentum, because I was like, there's nothing
You
behind
tackled
him.
me while wrapping arms around me, basically.
Yeah, you just tackle. Just call it tackle.
I put charge grapple, but I will
That's a tackle.
That's basically what a tackle is a
Um,
charge grapple.
That being said, since I was successful in
Does he
teaching,
take
would that be,
damage?
like, taking a proficiency point?
Yes.
Towards that? Sweet.
Does he take damage?
I'm at-
On the tackle.
That, since he does get slammed to the ground and fails his strength save, or
does
that
do
was a
damage.
dex save, so yeah, it just rolls off a dex and it will deal damage. And you will get to deal full damage on that one.
Oh, why can't I use
16.
Because I'm tanking.
Because you didn't tank
tried
it,
to
you
dex.
dexed out
Oh
the
yeah,
way.
because it's the same turn. Never
Yeah. So 7 plus your strength.
16.
Can I see?
16 total.
What you
Why
need?
did he get to do a double action and I didn't get to do a counter? I'm joking.
It's
Grapple
it's-
is- I'm
grapple.
proficient.
Grapple.
It was a joke.
Grapple
Calm
is a
down.
water style. Yes. Grapple is not fire style.
Water try.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna walk in a room and there's gonna be a whisper. Water drop.
That's the only thing.
Let's see Salka in the background.
Okay. So go ahead and mark off the 17 hit points.
Okay. 17.
Yep.
Bye bye.
Wait, so what do I put the proficiency point in? The leadership thing or just a one-on-one instruction?
One-on-one instruction. Just that. Yeah.
25.
So, but this is a branch off of the leadership.
Yes. So every skill that you end up making is a branch off of one of your designated proficiencies.
Oh, okay.
It has to fit into that category in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, so am I on the ground with him on top of me again?
Yes.
Well, You do have a +4 in your next move.
I know.
so-
I'm thinking about what I want to do. Okay. Well, first strength check.
Well,
I
how's he
wanna-
grappled
Yeah,
now?
you do need to roll the strength check at the beginning of your turn. If you fail it,
Same way.
Same way?
9 plus
6.
6. So yeah.
Ooh, he's
I was
good.
Kick up and roll
11?
around untopped.
Okay, I do as he says. I kick up.
okay.
I roll around.
Did you roll your D4 advantage on that?
Oh no, I didn't. But so 18.
18 total?
Yeah.
Okay. If you were trying to make that a skill, that would succeed in as a skill bracket.
You know what? I've done it twice. I'm gonna try and make it a skill. Just kick off.
Okay.
Lots of football stuff today.
What happens to me?
Well, what I do is I do the same thing. I kick you back,
I know.
and
Okay.
then I roll.
That's what I was asking him.
Okay, so yeah, that would be a kickoff. Are you trying to return from prone doing so?
Yeah.
Or are
when I
you just
roll,
kicking off, or are you rolling to the side?
I'm kicking off and kind of just rolling up. You know
Like
what I mean?
rolling to like.
Okay.
Using momentum to help myself.
You're going to need to roll in the high teens for that. And what did you end up getting?
18.
18? Alright, that would mark down as a success.
Where did my pen go?
There's multiple pens and pencils.
I know, but my pen's important. You can say what you're doing next, because I'm standing.
Am I also
I'm
flown?
standing facing you like this.
Yeah, you're not prone, but you are thrown back 10 feet again.
Alright. Holding action for the counter.
Okay. State how you're going to counter.
It depends on how he's coming at me.
Okay.
Okay, so you skip your turn, basically?
I suppose you, since this is counter style, to make it simplistic, the type of counter can be
Oh.
I don't want to
stated
say.
upon.
I don't want to
yeah.
tell you. When he goes for a punch, I'm gonna do this, and he goes for a kick
Yeah.
or a tackle.
And also,
Yeah.
that really encourages metagaming, which I don't.
Yeah. So I'll say yeah. You can go ahead and state upon the required reaction.
Thank you.
So what will you do? Actually, you do need to spend an action point to come up from prone, and you do know this.
What do you mean?
You do need to spend an action to get up from being prone.
No, what I mean is, what do you mean he knows this?
This would be something your character understands. You have a moment of action
Oh, okay.
while he's trying to get up.
I know you said one action for one action.
Mhm.
Can I roll
Did you take
to
it?
hold the
I
action
used it earlier. I don't know where it went after that.
to go in with my
Okay, this
counter?
one I actually have to find to continue.
You would roll it at the time of. You would
Oh,
roll
here
it
it
at
is.
the time
Oh,
of him
take it,
choosing to attack you in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
So do we start with the number of action points of our main skill, or do we start with 3 like before?
No, it's a 1-to-1. You only get
Okay,
one
so-
action per turn. If you hold your action and defend, you don't save action points.
So I'm just back to.
Yeah, you're back to 0. It's
Back-
something specific for one-on-one combat.
No, since it's waiting, I'm back to 1 now that it's my turn to go.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay, so it doesn't really matter in this fight. Okay.
So your action point doesn't fizzle because a reaction was not triggered. So that's what you were worried about, I presume.
Yes.
Okay.
So my agility is. Okay, I'm fine doing this. I run forward and kind of. Do you ever pivoted on your foot?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I kind of pivot twice to get behind him, and then go for another double attack.
Okay. Roll an agility check.
And I get a tier 1 advantage
Again. He already used it.
because of my proficiency in agility.
Agility. You would, yes.
Okay.
So you're pivoting around.
What the hell?
You're maneuvering around a person and striking them twice.
Looking
This
for
is
my triangle.
technically speaking.
We both have proficiency in agility.
You're gonna need to roll a. Then anytime I tell you to roll an agility check, you roll with a d4 on top of it.
Is agility considered counter?
Only if you do counter an agility-based way.
Okay.
It's all.
Like if you do a jump
about
kick.
how you do it.
At that point, I would say instead of rolling a strength, you're using the momentum of your jump rather than your actual strength to cause the damage.
Okay.
That being said, this is a maneuver behind and double strike, so you're going to have to hit at least in the low 20s, 21 or higher, to make this a successful attack.
When can
Besides him, if he tanks it or Dex is out of the way, regardless, if you want to mark it up as a successful skills completion, he needs to roll 21 or higher.
Okay.
as he's coming towards me
Mhm.
for my counter, do I wait for the initial attack? Or as he's coming at me, I can release?
In order to counter, you have to be attacked.
Yeah, so I would say he gets to roll for the attack first.
Okay.
And this would be, since you're reacting, unless I decide otherwise, you would roll this as a tank reaction. So if you fail on your reaction, you're going to tank the damage.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
cool.
Yeah, I got a 23.
23, so that is a success on your skill.
Sorry, my arm rubbed the money off. Okay, and...
So you're going in for a double strike?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a 1 on double strike. Would it be a 1 on can I use 2 points and make it 2 skills? Or is it 1 skill per turn?
1 skill per turn.
Okay, so it's the double strike.
Yeah, this one, this is a little different than your typical double strike because it also moved first. You moved action to move in. So this would be, the first one you did was a simple double strike. Second one you did was a move and double strike with a single action point. So
I thought the whole idea was to be able to do more than one thing with an action point.
Building.
it is, but these are 2 different levels. If you're at close range,
Okay.
you can double strike.
So basically, moving double strike.
Yeah, moving double strike. So you've actually tried 2 different things at this point.
As I have grapple and tackle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, so yeah, I hit them both. So add strength to a d20.
2 d20s because it's 2 hits.
Well, yeah. That's, where do my dice keep going?
Wait, so did he hit the...
Okay. Yeah,
hit?
I hit you.
Uh,
Or go ahead and roll.
You do need to still roll for whatever you're going to do. You need to state your counter.
Okay, what's he doing? I know a double
So-
hit, but how is he hitting?
So he said he was getting around behind you and
So
Well,
I'm
hitting
that's
you
not
in the
an
back.
attack.
I'm
That was part of his action, is to move behind you and hit twice.
like how your
Okay.
charge was part of your attack.
Right.
So what I did was I'm behind you and I hit you twice in the back. That's what I'm aiming for.
Okay, I do a backflip as you're behind me.
Okay.
I do a backflip, and as I come down, I kick forward. So,
Okay. That is going to be
Is that before or after I hit you?
he's going to try to do it before you land the blows. If he fails, you will still be able to land the blows as he's moving through midair.
Okay. So we'll roll each other for that?
You will need to roll an agility check. You will get the d4 on top of it.
okay.
If you're going to make this a counter type skill, that is a jump. It is an evasion. Counter is 1 trigger. Reactionary kick, another trigger, and the flip is another trigger. So you would need to roll 21 or higher for this one. Total of 21 or higher, just like he did.
So let's go. Don't roll a 1.
You get your dice, your stat, and your d4.
I know, I think he's adding it against your attack already that you already rolled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so...
And you already rolled a 24, so.
Yeah, so I hit you. So...
Yeah, so basically his blows land before you can make
11.
the flip a thing.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so I got
and you tank the damage. So,
plus strength, so it's 13 plus 18.
dang,
So that's-
rolling high.
Can I do half damage?
Well, I only rolled a 7. I just have high strength.
You do have that as your strength, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you can do it once a day, right?
What are you
Yes.
doing?
Yes.
Half damage.
It's
Oh.
it's a special skill.
13 plus 7, 18, did I say? Yeah, 18.
Yeah.
So that's...
18,
my
13,
brain has
30.
cut off 20, 31. 31.
Okay.
So 31 in half, that's 15 days.
Is that with the 9?
You take 16.
Sorry, with the 7? 7 of defense? From
Oh,
you
taking
so
it?
you
take-
take it off before you half it?
I would say you take it off before you half it.
Okay.
So your 7 would be the 14 off of it, Did you add your strength twice? Since it was 2 attacks?
Yeah, that's why it was a
30.
31.
Okay, so 31 minus 14 and then cut in half.
Okay, so 31
So that
minus
would be
14, that'd be
16 cut in half is 8.
Okay.
Oh, yes, he does that.
Okay, so it goes back to you.
Okay.
Does it go to me?
Actually, no, it does because you were reactionary.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because you.
I go for a grapple.
Okay.
I'm also gonna
It's
go.
just a hugging fight.
Yeah. He's trying to hug me. I'm just punching him.
I'm gonna go for my also my other special double
sub-
checks on strength.
I'm suddenly hearing, "You can't catch me, gay thoughts." Oh yes, we can.
My character's bi, so he's not running from the gay thoughts.
Ah,
What?
nothing.
Are you like scared?
No,
of
I'm
bi?
bold. That's the shape of a. Never mind.
Anyway,
I use my other strength double checks on
I win.
strength.
no
Okay.
matter what you get,
What now?
I win if you don't get a 20.
Oh, you had a secondary strength. What was
Yes.
that again?
Double checks on strength.
Okay. Where did you get that from?
I don't remember.
I was dodging out of the way. And
I
got
know
20,
the percentage damage was for making my character without being level 75. I think.
Yeah,
it
he
was.
got 2 skills because, or two
yeah.
things because of that.
Got it. All right. Advantage on a strength check. Okay.
Okay.
D&D advantage on a strength check.
Okay.
So.
I got a 20 on my dodge.
Oh yeah, he critted.
And you critted.
Go ahead and roll the second one to see if you crit. Because this is basically like
Oh God!
double ones.
Snake eyes.
I remember when I did
Wait,
that.
okay.
We are brothers. I did that once before.
So what happens? Can
Basically,
I say what I do because I critted?
basically, you go in to punch him. You were tanking
he
it or
was-
dodging it.
I'm
I
trying to
was
grapple.
dodging it. He was
Okay,
trying to
so at that
grapple.
point, you would lose your balance and fall forward.
And I kind of dance around him because I'm still doing the spinning thing.
So he's prone
Can
in
I-
front of you.
and I was gonna try and do the spin behind thing like, to make it a skill.
It's not going to be really the
Or spin out of the
maneuver
way.
behind.
Not okay. Let me rephrase that. I was gonna do pivot out of the way, kind of dodge.
Okay.
Spinning out of the way.
That's basically the same thing as what everyone does when they're dexing.
Okay, I was
Um,
thinking it's not like jumping or it was specific. Whatever.
Yeah, it's just a simple dodge.
Okay, I dodged. Are you prone?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm prone.
with the ones he you don't really need to dodge. He just misses. He does lane prone, so you have a turn now.
Your opponent's down. Take him while he's at his weakest.
I'm gonna.
Absolutely heartless.
What were you trying
I'm
to
looking
do?
To hear.
Oh,
I'm doing like a hardened.
you
battle
can't hear.
instructor.
You actually read lips when you
Yeah.
do that, so that wouldn't work.
I thought you said he heard something. No.
It's like Rias, he's down. Take him.
Okay. I say. I don't actually. Yes, master. No. I go. I like nod, and then I do another like double punch. Kind
Okay,
Of down,
he's just going full Ip Man on your back now.
and I'm gonna try and make
That's
that a
Bruce
skill.
Lee.
Double hit.
I don't care. I still like it.
Does he automatically get the skill for hitting?
The double. No,
It's just
he
a
still
simple
needs to
double
roll
strike.
for the skill.
So what do I have to beat for that? make it a
Just a
skill.
simple double strike needs to be in the high teens.
Okay. Okay. Inspiration. He gave me the speech.
Yeah, he did. Did
Oh,
you use a
wait.
proficiency point for that?
No,
Or are you
not.
going to?
Okay,
Don't
so
you have to,
roll
like, do
roll
like
a d12 if you didn't use a proficiency point.
a D12. I know
Yes.
I was going to. I didn't.
Okay.
I had to, like, do you have to still do the charisma thing?
Yeah, this is the charisma thing.
Okay.
So if you spend a point, you can use a d20. Plus you get your d4.
So 16, and I have to get less than 16.
Total of 18, actually.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, you go add your.
Yeah,
your,
so
add your
so that would be
charisma,
a
right?
success on your inspiration
Only two
instruction.
No, it's 4, but if I'm not flirting, it's a negative
Oh
2,
yeah.
remember?
Just say it very flirty. Hit him while he's down. I don't know
Get
how
him
to-
from behind. Sorry.
Plus my charisma. So you got what?
18.
I got 18.
18, 15. Yeah. So it doesn't help.
What'd you end up getting?
I got 22.
22. That'll succeed. So you
I do get advantage.
That was for him.
22 You
Yeah, I
rolled
was saying,
a total of 22, correct?
Yeah, so I don't get advantage. So I lose.
No, because remember,
Oh,
you,
no,
you
no,
were
no.
saying
Oh.
I have to beat his charisma in order for him to get like some sort of proficiency or whatever.
Okay,
Like,
yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought
Okay.
you were landing your hits.
Okay.
no,
So I haven't done
Yeah,
it yet.
you don't get the inspiration for landing your hits.
I was successful in coaching you, but you did not get inspired by my words.
Actually, oh yeah, you're good.
So you said high teens,
Yes.
and I add my strength or my dex.
Strength or
'Cause
melee precision.
Oh yeah. So I get 12.
12 total.
Yeah.
That will not count for the skill for the regular double strike.
Is that a fail?
It is a fail.
Does he hit me?
You're prone.
You're
so you
prone,
can't-
so it automatically hits.
Okay.
So you could still
Oh,
roll.
yeah, I haven't
you
actually
you
tried
only
for
get to
that.
roll one hit against it.
That's the good thing about doing 2 skills. I don't have to
Can I
mark
still
the other
tank
one
it?
off.
Yeah, you tank it.
Okay. Plus my so it's 11 plus 11.
No, you'd only
Two
get to roll
hits?
one
I did double strike.
But you failed.
when you fail the double strike, so the skill doesn't follow through.
Oh, I thought you were saying I succeeded in the strike, but I just didn't get it
No.
to the skill.
4 hit points.
Okay, so 11.
So, at that point, it goes back to you.
So he's there punching me.
Yeah, one punch lands in the back, good and hard.
I kind of just like whiff on the other one.
Kick myself up.
'Kay.
And go for a kick.
I was gonna say if you grapple me again,
Don't tempt me.
and this is a dex.
All right, so
So,
you're
yay.
gonna try to
I'm dodging.
agility up and kick as a single action.
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead. And are you using burning a point on that?
Sure. Yes.
Okay.
Marker.
We really need some more dry erase markers.
Yeah.
All right. So you, since it's up from prone and an attack, roll an agility check
With a plus
for the
4,
skill.
plus D4. Sorry, not plus 4.
It is +4.
Oh.
Nice.
No. Oh yeah, yours is different from mine.
So 14 plus your agility.
19.
19. That will work for the skill. You can mark it down a up from prone and attack at melee range. And then you actually need to roll a melee range attack just to hit.
Because of the fire element, do I have a more of a chance to do
14.
the multiple hit thing for a skill?
Yes.
So I'd have to get like mid-teens instead of a high teens for like just to comparing like for
No,
12
not
hits.
like that. You just get to add a dice to it.
Oh, okay, never mind then.
If
okay.
it's something that you're proficient with. Your agility is where the agility is where he's getting the extra dice from.
No, I was asking for making a skill like.
No, you don't
because
get
of the fire
advantage
thing.
because
Okay,
of no.
16 plus 8, so
Wait, what are you rolling
22.
for?
To dodge.
Oh, gotcha.
It's just like I don't want to be hit, so 24.
Okay.
Dodges out of the way.
Okay, so you make the successful kick, but
Okay.
he does dodge out of the way. It goes to you.
I'm gonna try for another double strike.
Okay. At point blank range.
Plus, so that's 17. So
17 to hit. Are
that's-
you gonna dex or tank?
is that good for the skill?
The way I've
yes.
been rolling, I think I might just have to take it. I'll just take it.
Okay. All right, so go ahead and roll damage, and then you can -7 off of it.
Oh,
Ouch.
23.
So
15, so 38.
7 minus off of that twice is 14. So 14 off of his 38 is 24.
I'm hurt.
I've taken a lot of damage this fight. I can't talk. Okay.
All right, so it's your action now.
Grapple. Tense him
Okay.
up.
And can I say something without using a turn? Because I just want to say something.
You
I'll be
can
one
say
turn,
it.
you.
He's probably crushing your ribs while you do so.
I'm saying it to him.
Okay.
I think he wants to hug me. Okay, I'm dodging out of the way.
My character.
Nat 20.
Oh, dang.
I'll do the T4 star. Dodge!
It worked.
So you missed the grapple, and you fail on
Oh,
the
I'm so
grapple
sorry.
check. Or wait a minute, how did you land
I haven't
on the roll
rolled.
for it?
I haven't rolled. Can I use my double check again? Is that a one-time use also?
On strength checks?
Yes.
One's for battle, I think you said earlier.
That
Actually-
was for the percentage damage
Oh, okay.
off.
I think
That's
that
for
was
my-
I think that was only once a day.
For both of them?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was once a day.
See if you crit. Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
What
Dude.
does your total strength check land on? Actually, the grapple doesn't go through
21,
regardless.
and that's
So
21.
So,
21.
and I got 28, so I just.
But do I lose the grapple?
I think that would count as a lost grapple.
Gotcha.
So.
If I get like a 19 and he gets a 20, do I still get to add to the skill even if I miss?
Technically, if you miss, I would say, depending on the situation, like this one, no. If it's slightly different, depending on the situation, I might say
Okay.
yes. It's up to DM discretion.
So it's my turn again.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go for another double strike.
Okay. You're burning points off of this?
Yeah, I actually forgot to take one off last time, so this will be 4 now. Marker.
Right there.
You guys really need to get some more markers. I already provided one set.
Which you lost.
You guys are currently using them.
We only have one marker.
You only have one black dry erase marker.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other ones are gone. Those aren't dry away.
Those are all Sharpies.
I'm checking.
You
There
said
was
you
a
lost them
purple.
at some kind of group thing.
And then we had a purple one, but it was completely faded. Oh,
Okay.
wait.
Yay!
I never lost them. You guys just didn't look for them.
Is this the one you were looking for earlier?
No,
Okay.
I found it.
Okay.
Alright, you can take the red one. I'll take the pink one.
Okay, so rolling for another double strike. Did I already do that? No, I did.
I gotta double check the AC because it's not cooling off in here.
Okay, so come on. Yes. And this is for strength, so 23.
For the hit?
Double strike. Yeah. Oh wait, no. This is
Melee
20. Sorry,
proficiency.
I kept doing strength. I'm skipping
Melee
to
proficiency.
damage.
I was wondering why the AC wasn't turning on. It cycled to a different time of day at which he has it set at 83.
When you're here.
Yeah.
And he's not. Anyway, so yeah, you have to beat a 20. Not a nat 20, so he's
What were you trying to double strike him again?
yeah.
Okay.
For
Is this
whatever
the
he's
last
doing.
one you have, or?
No, I still have 4 more.
Okay.
How many proficiency points do you have? 8? Wow, okay.
You said it's the same as our main skill, right?
Mm-hmm. The main stat that you have. And yours is Dex. Because you're a craftsman.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And if it's knowledge, I have an 8 in that too.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have to beat a 20 for whatever you're gonna do. Or if you tank it. Oh, I get to add that to my skill.
You know, it'd be really awesome is if you killed John in this fight.
Well, I'm expecting him to call it off, or me to call it off whenever we're at our low point.
Judging from me just sitting and trying to like watch and observe to help them now, how are they both looking?
I'm at right
Roll an
below
observance
half.
check.
Well, they're just going
You're
at
so
it.
concentrating on telling me what to do, you can't tell how good I'm doing or not.
Guys, like, no, this is what I mean. Keep going. You look great.
What are you at?
Roll it.
Yeah, roll observance.
19.
We've had more PvP action in the last 5 sessions than we ever had in the first campaign.
I wasn't gonna use that turn on that. Did I just do that?
No.
Okay, so 19.
Safe to tell him my HP?
Yeah.
Okay, 64 out of 80.
Oh, so I've done some damage.
No, sorry.
You've done 64 damage out of 80.
Oh, I've done a shit ton of damage.
Your first attack was 30 damage.
Yeah.
Having the fire element as your main primary element of identification unlocks some pretty massive damage value. Just don't run into a fire element for an enemy.
I
So-
mean, yeah, because I have such low health, I'll just be whittled down.
Speaking of, like,
What are you gonna do?
Am I doing my character right so far?
I'd say yeah.
Okay, cool.
How does the 2 AP work when I
Just
only
asking
get
you
1
a
AP?
question.
It means it would take 2 turns worth of actions that you wouldn't have the staff near you. It would be flying out and then coming back.
Okay.
So you would have to, if you did grab the staff and throw it, it would be 2 turns before you got
That
it.
is such a dick move! Like, out of character.
Hypothetically
That is
speaking,
such a dick move!
I wasn't gonna hit you with it. I was gonna go. That's enough.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna go. Bop bop.
Agreed to a hand-to-hand fight and then hit me with a metal stick.
no. Better yet, have it on the other side of him and just summon the staff, and all of a sudden, bang in the back of your head from
I was
behind.
thinking much darker. It goes like through my chest.
No, I'm just the back of the head, like Deadpool in the Thor Endgame or the
Right,
Avengers Endgame.
Oh, Deadpool's
Preview?
not in the game.
I know,
Oh,
but
the
he
preview.
did. They did a
I avoid
preview when
previews,
he's
remember?
there, and when Thor summons his hammer, it hits Deadpool in the back of the head, and then he's like, "Oh, Canada!"
So what are you gonna do?
For his to hit,
I got 20.
Which is my favorite swear word ever.
Canada.
Canada.
What will John Ryan do next?
I'll take hugging my enemy for 500.
Yeah, probably. I mean, you're going against my action.
How,
It's not your turn, so you have to counter no matter what you're doing.
how do I look?
You said 64 out of 80?
Yeah, it's fun.
Considering that you've been bludgeoning him quite a bit, he's got a bloody lip and, a few bruises here or there.
Honestly, because of where I've been hitting, he's just like all beat up on the torso. So he'd just be like covered in bruises.
Bruises.
You look fabulous.
All right. It's weird to pick defense over not getting hit.
I mean, that's kind of your thing, though, isn't it?
That's more his thing.
I thought it was both of their things.
Which one?
He's more agile based.
Yeah, I just tank it. Okay.
So you're not gonna roll against it.
No, I can tank it, or
I
try
mean,
to
did he
dex
hit
out-
you again?
Oh, okay.
He's about to hit me twice.
I rolled a 20.
Okay.
So what you roll would just take off of my damage.
No, defense or
Yeah.
agility. I don't roll anything,
Oh, okay.
right?
Yeah,
For
if you're
him to
just
hit me?
tanking his blows.
For him to hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
19 plus 12, so that'd be 20, 30, 30,
30 total damage?
31.
31. And you don't have any halfers anymore.
Correct.
So you take 14 off of it for your regular defense, which puts you at 15, 16. 17. 17 damage. And you're at 64 damage out of 80. You are 1 point negative unconscious.
Okay.
So I just knocked him the fuck out?
Yeah, you just clipped him right in the jaw, and he's boom.
Okay, once I do that, how are you going to fall? I'll let you do that. Because I went for your chest. I punched you twice in the chest. So.
What anime?
Naruto, JoJo, like every anime.
I would
has
say that was
scene.
probably JoJo. I haven't seen JoJo yet, so I
No,
would guess
every
that's
anime has that unconscious but still standing to fight scene.
that. Not every, believe it or not.
A lot of them.
Maybe 2% of them.
Oh, I would say more than that.
There's a lot.
There really is.
There's like if there's a.
But there is a lot of
high-action
anime.
Yeah, if there's a high action anime, it's gonna have that scene somewhere.
I don't think there are quite a few anime out there that never have a fight scene.
That's why I said high action anime. Anyway, so what? Are you going to fall over? Or are you going to be standing?
I would dare say he falls over, considering that when you go unconscious, you go prone.
Okay, so
Unless you have a
because
skill
I
to
hit
do
him
it.
I have a skill to be a standing wall even when I'm
Anyway,
not.
because I punched him in the chest, he's gonna fall backwards. And once I see him fall, I'm gonna run to catch him.
Roll a dex save.
1.
Yeah, you fall back flat on the ground.
Can I fall on him?
No.
You fell backwards. And then I turned.
And you
to-
fell over on top of him.
I went to the side. I don't want to hurt him more. No, I turned to you and go, "Oh fuck, help him!"
No, I just pat you in the back. Good job. I'm proud of you.
Wait, I'm the first one in this whole campaign to beat you in a spar, and I'm not a fighter.
Not good with my fist.
I beat you barehanded. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself.
Technically speaking, it was barehanded, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I should have been having you roll a d12 that entire time.
Why?
Not proficient.
Not proficient
You
in
have to be
fist fighting.
proficient to punch someone.
Have to be proficient in fist fighting. So you should have been rolling your d4 on top of a d12 that entire time, which would have
Helped.
Honestly, with your low rolls, maybe like. a
Hey,
third.
I
half
had rolled
the
some
time.
17s in there too.
I said you probably a third of them it would have helped you.
Yeah, so we'll just keep it there for canon, at least for now.
Yeah, it's
But
just
we
a-
got to keep remembering that.
It was like, that being said, I was like, it was like, alright, just,
Okay, with my limited medical knowledge from patching myself up,
it's like,
Is that your proficiency? I can't remember.
dude, I wasn't actually gonna do anything. I was gonna pick him up and lay him in the bed and try and see if I broke anything.
Okay, so you basically break up a cot for him.
No, we're in the bedroom.
over
Yes,
you
but
guys
there
put
are
the-
no beds.
Oh, cot. Yeah, sorry.
This is the officer's mess hall that
No,
doubles as a cot room.
I thought you meant there were no cots. That I
So,
have to
yeah.
go to another room to get them.
No,
Okay.
they're off to the side.
Yeah,
They
I dragged one out and put him on it and checked to make sure I didn't
these are
break a rib.
hanging hammocks.
It's not a cot. That's a hammock.
So I misspoke. So it's a hammock.
Okay. Well, I don't do that because that'd be horrible if I did break a rib.
Roll an observance check to see if you broke a rib.
Yeah. Well, I lay him down on the floor on top of a blanket. That's a 7.
He's got bruises.
Carrot, come over here and help. I'm obviously unskilled at this.
What makes you think I'm any better? I'm here to help you train fight, not to see if he has broken ribs or not. Which, by the way, good job. You kicked his ass.
Please look.
I love this that all these DPS characters are sitting here learning the value of having, a medic on their team.
We had a medic. He moved.
Yeah, you got sick and tired of dealing with this
Yeah.
crappy DPS only team.
So I guess I'm gonna check for broken ribs and
Do you
whatnot.
want to do a charisma thing to see if I convince you?
No, I'll just do it.
Oh, okay.
because-
Yeah.
What do I add to observance?
Yeah.
Okay, 19.
He looks bruised. You're not proficient in it, so it's
Exactly,
harder
so
for
I was
you.
just like, it's like, you know what? I think he'll be just fine. Where's the nearest cot or whatever?
There's
Uh,
a hammock right next to me.
Yeah,
That's why
there are.
Well, outside of that, where's the actual? Wait, you guys are like
Captain.
Oh, the captain's room?
Captain's the only one that actually has a cot. Everyone else gets hammocks.
Oh. Well. that's
Okay,
the case.
I'm
Is
gonna
there
leave
anything? Is there anything we
really
can just make like
fast
a little makeshift
And look
bed?
for the guy in charge, the captain,
Captain?
or second mate.
First
Okay.
Okay,
Sorry.
so roll an observance check.
Well, why?
14.
Okay,
Well-
first one you see is the first mate.
Okay. I walk up and ask him, "Do we have a medic on board?"
He looks at you and he says, "Yes, we have a medic on board. Why? Did you cut your finger?"
No, I beat the shit out of Sunbad. I'm surprised too.
Like, while that's going on, is there anywhere?
He's on the second deck.
I go find him.
You're going down there hollering medic, I presume?
No, I'm going down looking for the medic wing, which I assume there's a room for him.
Nope.
Why would there not be a room?
It's a ship. It's space friendly.
I know. Yeah.
Can I talk to the ocean?
You're
You're unconscious,
out.
dude.
I know.
No.
Okay.
Like while this is going on, like while he's running
Yes,
around, it's like, do
I-
I make him like a make? It's like, do I find stuff to make a makeshift bed for him or whatever?
I
Yeah,
go-
you can hang the cots if you want.
I hung out at enough hospitals when I was with. That's actually
Well, I was
part of the
gonna lay
backstory.
in my
When I
cot.
was
Mhm.
with
Rias.
Rias, not Rias.
Or,
Love.
Love,
I'll
yeah.
just call him Love. I'm gonna look for someone that looks like they know what they're looks like a doctor, looks like a medic.
Okay.
18.
18 total?
Yeah.
No one that looks like a medic.
You're such a dick to me.
I mean, you could shout asking for one.
No, I'm gonna walk up to somebody and ask, "Where's the medic, please?"
He looks past you, points at the cook.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to the cook.
Are you really?
The cook is also the medic.
Oh no,
boy.
the cook doesn't like you right now.
Okay, fun fact.
The cook is the medic.
The
yeah.
carpenter and the blacksmith often doubled
As a
for multiple skills, as did the cook and the medic, as the dentist as well,
Okay.
on a ship back in these days.
I'm gonna walk up.
The less crew members you had that could multitask, the better.
Is Stephanie in the room?
She's actually running the kitchen. The medic / cook is off to the side, just...
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to him and say, "Sir, I need some help. My friend is hurt, and I want to make sure he's not permanently hurt."
Well, at least I have something to do on this ship. And he gets up,
And I
throws
take
his
him to
apron
the-
aside, reaches under, grabs a barrel, and just, pulls out a little black leather bag.
I'm imagining it being
And
very small and
he
giant hands.
opens up the bag just for a second, takes his apron, stuffs it in the bag, pulls out the medic hat.
I love that.
I appreciate your wording.
What?
Somebody.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about that yet, so it's not metagaming.
So he's like, "Where's your friend?"
I take him. I say he's up in the room. We had a spar, and I hit him a little too hard. I take him up there.
At this point, Stephanie looks up from behind the kitchen, cooking whatever she's cooking, and she's like, "Tell him dinner's gonna be ready soon when he wakes up."
I don't think she'd expect that I beat up her boyfriend.
I rolled an observance check.
Oh, okay.
She had been observing well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Investigation?
She knew what she knew what she was. I just
Okay.
rolled. It worked.
I say,
But she
will-
didn't care enough by my second roll to actually leave the kitchen.
A little proud that she actually seems to think I could do that. I go and I say, "I will," and I go take him to the room.
Okay. Medic comes back up, looks at you for a little bit. He's not your typical. He doesn't have the gentle touch that Love used to have.
Honestly, all I was trying to do was feel his chest for any breaks. That's all I
Yeah,
was worried about.
he's got a kind of a rough touch, but eventually, splash of water, you're woke up again. And yeah, you're just sitting there, rocky, bloodied, bruised.
Not the
Sitting there,
face. Not the
Not the
face.
It's just the chest and back.
the same sweaty feeling of being, body bruised or whatever, but
It hurts to
you
breathe,
feel
that's
like
for
you
sure.
want to take a nap. So, he looks him over for a while. He's like, "Yeah, he'll be fine."
Thank you. What's your name, sir?
Harvey. Now I gotta break out my papers.
Dang it.
Hey, look! Duct tape.
Yes, my bullet.
I say, "Thank you for helping me, sir."
He's like, "Yeah.
And
Maybe
then
you can
I
help me.
behind Carrick and say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hit you that hard."
As the ship.
And then I remember that you're deaf. And write down.
Is that a
Well,
12?
no, this doesn't.
Nope.
You're barely awake. You're not looking at me. And
Sucks
I'm
to be
hiding
you.
behind him.
Before Harvey leaves.
Oh, I'm looking around.
I'm behind him.
Okay.
You
I
can't
was
see
gonna ask
me.
him, it's like,
You're behind who?
it's like,
Yeah.
Oh.
what part of the ship
Well,
was
don't
the
forget I was
blacksmith people
splashed,
did
and then I was.
Yeah, it's
woke.
down a
No,
second
it's
deck.
not to do with you being
Front
he's
end of the
big,
boat.
I'm small.
Alright,
I'm behind
thank
him.
you.
You can't see me. You would have heard me yell.
Oh.
I walk up and I take out my notebook and write down, "I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to. I'm sorry."
Unfortunately, I
And then
haven't
shout
named
to-
all 350 members of the crew yet.
I mean, that'd be kind of a big task.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm gonna take the piece of paper from you. I'm gonna write right there. It's like, He got you good.
I send my staff towards me, make sure and it's very close to his head.
Okay, roll a dex check.
His head, not me.
Not his.
Okay.
Close to
roll
his
a dex
head.
check.
Close to his head, not his head.
Okay, I got a 23.
23. Okay, is it whistles past your ear and you're like, what the heck?
And I say,
Oh god! As you do this, I feel extremely guilty, and if you look at me, I'm like,
I look at the staff, I'm like, ow.
I then sit down and like fully realizing with the adrenaline leaving my body now that I know he's okay, I just scream, ow! Because I'm below half health.
Your ribs ache.
Where did you hit me?
He hugged you.
You hugged me to
And
death.
pile
slammed
drived
you
you.
to
So
the
like
ground.
my entire
Your ribs
front,
ache and your entire spinal column just aches.
You know, I like pop my back a bit, just like ow.
and just on top of that,
Where's my pin of
power
death?
Of tough love, I'd be like, good job.
And then I turn to you and go, asshole! I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. And then turn back to kind of rocking on the
Yeah.
floor.
But then I'll be like, but on the real, you did a really good job. Thoroughly impressed.
Thank you for the advice.
Least I can do. Now, in the future, we'll have to work with your sword, but hand in hand, good job.
Now, what I wanted to get at, I know it won't help with my sword, because this fit, but would it help with my shield? Because I use it with my arm like that. With the double strike.
This was a fist-based combat.
Okay, so I just...
Yeah, it wouldn't really help. It'll come in handy if you get stuck in the middle of town with no weapons carried around and you get into a bar fight. So,
I'm gonna go sleep.
okay, so you go to bed.
I'm going to look to Carrick. Have you been on a ship before?
I've been on a few. Not saying that I enjoy them, but I've been on quite a few in my lifetime.
I ask, is there anything we would be expected to do?
I mean, as far as we're just guests on the ship, right?
In your experience, since you're chartered guests on the ship, nope.
Yeah. So I was like, no. As far as I know, we're Marcy's guests, so
Okay.
nothing much to us. I mean, if you want to help, I'm pretty sure you could ask the first mate or whatever.
At the moment, I would normally run out to help, but I'm hurting everywhere, so I just go, okay, wake me up if they call for us. And then I get into one of the hammocks and
Yeah,
just go to sleep.
and then on that note, I'd be like, yeah, go rest, but wake yourself up, because I'm going to be doing some other stuff around
Well,
the
if they
ship.
call all of us, they would call you.
So wake yourself up.
I thought we were friends. And then I go to sleep.
It's called tough love.
After sleep, do you gain any?
You mean XP?
No.
Oh, do we gain
Oh,
XP
are you
from
gonna do
this?
a full sleep or a nap? Because
The-
it's actually mid-morning.
Yeah. How long is
Full sleep is an 8-hour sleep. 6 to 8.
I'm actually
full
going to do a full
Okay.
sleep.
Okay.
So I'll
So you end up
wake
spending
up.
the rest of the day zonked out. Marcy ends up counting inventory and getting tired and zonking out.
Now, this would bring back my stuff
I'm
to
gonna
full,
go
right?
see the blacksmith.
Would-
the blacksmith?
would this
Where's
bring-
the blacksmith?
would this
Oh
bring
my
back-
god, I'm glad I'm not the only one who gets that reference. Where's the blacksmith?
Health and,
After an 8-hour sleep, it'll go to full.
and my points too.
Yeah, your proficiency points. will
You
go
know,
back.
I'm gonna go home and watch that now afterward. Where's the
What is
blacksmith?
I've only heard the memes of it. That's the
What
sad
is it?
thing.
It's I forgot what game Markiplier was.
Markiplier, yeah.
He was
Oh.
playing this like horror like puzzle game or whatever, and there's this part where you have to find the blacksmith, and he just goes on a rampage, just going through the town.
It was
Where's the
Minecraft.
blacksmith?
It was.
It wasn't Minecraft. It was a different game. It was a horror game. But he's like, "Where's the blacksmith?"
Oh, I'm thinking of a different Let's Play.
Where's
It's
the
the exact
blacksmith?
same thing.
I
Anyway.
saw Drunken Minecraft, so that's what I remember him playing from Minecraft, and that was horrible.
Well, no, I think it wasn't.
Yeah, I love
I think it
Drunken
was Drunken
Minecraft.
Minecraft, but it was early on, so he wasn't like.
Yeah, they were in creative mode, building giant dicks and stuff
Yeah,
like
that's
Oh
that.
no,
what I
he
liked
did
about
quite
it.
a few Drunken Minecrafts. This is one where he like played a story map.
Yeah, all I ever did was watch the one Drunken Minecraft was creative mode, creative plane, and they were just building giant versions of themselves with giant dicks.
Now I remember one of them was like, "Hey, look, someone built SpongeBob." Like, it's missing something, and then they just drew a giant dick of SpongeBob.
Anyway, so yeah, I'm out until night. So
Yeah,
whatever
you're
You
out.
said You said mid morning, right?
It was mid-morning, so
What
yeah,
ti-
you're gonna
what time
be
did you
out
say?
until it's dark
Evening.
outside, unless you sleep the whole night through.
No, I'm gonna.
I'm gonna wake up at night because I want to do something at night.
Me too.
Okay.
Alright, yeah. I'm gonna go find the blacks.
All right, so you go down. As you're looking around on the main floor, you actually see 3 people around the smithing area. One of them is John Carpenter, and 2
Nathan. Carpenter.
Nathan Carpenter.
Aha.
It's like
Thank
John
you.
Carpenter. I love his movies.
Yeah, misspeak. Also, there are 2 Asutoku, the very pale,
Cloak.
pointed ears.
Yeah.
They were the fellows wearing the cloaks that were on the main deck earlier.
Oh, it's just so they don't get sun.
You do
The-
see
the
that
albino
they do have their cloaks hanging up nearby, but they are going full smithy with Carpenter, working metal. They're making all kinds of stuff. They're hard at work.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to approach them and be like, so I can tell you guys are busy at the moment, but when would be a good time to ask you for like maybe some upgrades on my armor set, possibly?
Honestly, we don't do that kind of work here. We keep the ship running, and we're working on something for the ship right now.
You'd have to ask Reese.
Well, I'm not much of a smith, but need any help lifting shit around or anything?
Lifting? Maybe in a few days.
Few
Not
days.
now.
Alright.
Do we get any experience from the spark?
Yeah, I was gonna get there, but
Is it? I guess on that note, since they don't exactly do that sort of thing, I'll go talk to the first mate.
okay.
Yeah.
You get up there, top of the deck, next to the wheel.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye on the sun, keeping an eye on the crew, looking stern.
Alright. It was like, I go up and ask him, did he ever introduce his name or anything, or was it just first mate?
I want to say that I did have his info buried around here somewhere. I want to say it was Tarek,
Who are you looking for? First mate?
the first mate, who was
I don't remember if I
really
wrote it.
dark looking.
I don't know if I wrote it down on one of these pages.
No, I didn't write it down.
I'm pretty sure you didn't write it down on one of those pages.
Do you know the first mate's name?
What's up?
Do you know the first mate's name? The
I
dark guy?
cleaned up in here, and now I lost paper with names on it. I really need to
I did not
keep
write that
everything in a
down.
binder.
Well,
I need to pick up a lot of stuff from.
How about we just make one up right now, and then that'll be the name from now on.
I could have sworn I wrote it down.
That I did too. Give me one
Crowley.
second. If I don't find it, then we'll
Crowley.
make up another one.
Crowley?
Crowley.
I think that sounds like right. That sounds right.
No, it wasn't. Here it is.
What is it?
Velore Tekoto.
DeLorean?
Delore?
Velore
DeLorean.
I heard Della.
Tekoto.
Okay.
First mate Tekoto.
First mate Dakota.
T or D?
No, we all heard that.
Tekoto.
Okay.
Or is this the first time his name is being used?
You have heard him referred to
Okay.
as Velore and mate Tekoto. So you've picked it up.
Okay.
First mate you said Takoto?
Tekoto.
Yeah. First mate Takoto.
Yes.
Mr. T.
Don't call me that.
I'm asleep.
Then don't speak.
But I say, I know we're guests on this ship, but anything we do to help around?
Stay out of our way. Keeps working. Not looking at you.
Stay out of the way.
Plethora of dice.
For dice to throw at it.
Oh my god.
Just get all the triangles.
So, about towards the end of the day,
Oh yeah, I guess if there's nothing else better to do with me, I'll just go for a nap.
We all just go to
Man,
sleep.
we all just tied on the ocean.
Like,
Yeah.
me and you have a reason to be sleepy, but you just watch.
you end up missing a couple meals. But
I'm fasting.
Stephanie ends up.
I can go off very little
Yeah,
food.
you end up waking up in the evening when shifts are changing. Night shift is beginning. Most of the sailors go to sleep at that time. But, a skeleton crew stays up just long enough. Getting closer to evening, right before that shift starts taking place, the captain comes out of his quarters. I presume all of you are up and out, looking around.
I actually was planning on. I will go out if they walk out, but I'll come back to the room.
I mean, I was planning on.
Do we have
walking out.
candles in the room? I assume we
The
do,
ship is
but-
lit by lanterns.
I'm just a light source is what I'm looking for.
Lanterns.
Inside the room.
Okay,
Where people are sleeping.
Yeah.
well,
Okay, double checking.
You end up waking up, lighting them.
So the captain comes in the room?
No.
Oh.
Do you leave the room, or are you just going to stay in your room all night?
Oh no, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go see what the ship's like at night.
what time
Okay.
would you say it is? Like 8 or 9?
It's probably getting on to 8 in the evening.
Yeah. so
Sun's
I-
going down, turning
I
to
do-
twilight.
I do my stretches and my morning stuff, and then piss off the side of the. I don't.
It's red sky tonight.
Alright, so I'm back to
I'm glad I can see.
Yeah.
I write down. This is why. Hold on. At least you get to see the beautiful things.
Give me a charisma check.
I'm being kind, so do I?
I don't think so. I think you're being.
I think you get to roll a straight charisma check on this one.
No, I'm saying I'm being kind, so I don't have to take anything off.
You take it as kind?
Plus 7, so 13. Roll against it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
19.
Okay, so what
Yeah,
are you gonna
so
do?
however you don't like it or like it, it's up to you. He just gives you a
I
look.
just glare.
Well, I'm not looking at you. I'm just looking at the sky, so it's not going to affect me.
You're handing me the note.
Yeah, I handed it to you, then turned back to the sky. I didn't watch you read it.
Just throw it over the edge.
Yeah. That's your book.
Not
No,
that.
just a page.
You.
Oh, you throw me over.
No.
Oh,
It crossed my mind.
anyway, it's about this time. Captain comes out of his quarters, walks up to the top of the decks, turns to his first mate, says, "Well, she ready to fire up?" He said, "Yes, Captain. We're ready to go."
Is this a bright night?
It's still lit.
Okay,
Roll an
go
observance check.
first. Okay, well,
Everybody.
I see all.
Okay.
I
18.
levitate over the.
You
ocean.
15. Okay. What
20.
did you get?
18.
18. All of you succeeded. In the darkness, the dim light of the twilight, you do see that you are actually headed out of a giant bay. There is a spot where the bays are coming together.
I was about to see if I can still see land.
You can
There we go.
actually, you can, yeah. But as he's moving, there's a little bit of chop to the water, and he ends up moving through. The boat ends up moving through, and they end up taking.
I brace
a
for
turn.
impact.
Oh no, there's no.
I'm just letting you know what my character's doing.
Yeah.
I'm bracing for
Noticing
an
you're
impact.
doing it. You have to go to the bathroom.
I was thinking about going take a dip in the ocean. As I grab a hold of
Because I just
the
see you
railing.
randomly go.
Where did we come out of our rooms?
Your
go
rooms
out
are
here.
you come out.
Here, sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or actually,
Perfect.
yeah, we go out there.
So I go. I come over here.
I'm
This
gonna
is
walk.
where the. Oh, is that where the netting?
Boats are laid. Boats are.
Oh, that's not what I'm
laid
looking
down
for. The
there.
netting all the way down to the ocean.
Netting doesn't go all the way down to the ocean.
What else
Netting
are
only
people
goes.
overboard?
They throw a rope. They climb over the edge. The netting and stuff
Okay.
does go down a little ways, but it doesn't go all the way down to the ocean. There's
Okay.
ladders and rope ladders they can throw over.
I'm
Okay.
standing like right here,
Okay.
just kind of.
It's about this time that you feel a rumble in the deck. Captain says, "Well, fire her up." and there's a box next to the main wheel that the ship hasn't been going as fast as you anticipated this entire time. You heard 75 knots. That's pretty darn fast. It doesn't feel like 75 knots, at least from your experience.
Does it look like 75 knots?
No.
Are we out in open sea?
We're about to be.
You've gone through the bay.
Or let me rephrase that. Can we see land?
Yeah, you can see that you're slowly moving through the bay. Doesn't feel like you've been going all that fast.
Okay.
Not even all the sails are open.
The
But
wind
it,
must be strong.
you
Or
don't
the
always have
currents
to
are.
run full sail to get a decent speed.
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of these old boats. I always think real slow. I don't know why.
Well, they typically old boats only win about 12 to 12.
And you're saying it's 75?
Yeah,
oh,
this
so
thing gets
where's the
75.
steam engine?
We don't know that.
We were told.
It does have a steam engine that you did find out about it later.
Okay.
Maybe you didn't hear about it.
Me and Marcy
Yeah.
learned
they
about it
knew
when we were
about it.
signing the contracts and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was there for it, but I probably didn't hear it because I was
Yeah.
too busy brooding.
But it's about this time that they open up a box of controls, flip a lever, and the boat, you can just feel yourself leaning back, and this boat really starts taking off. Sails are trimmed, and you, for the first time, there
Grab
is...
a barrel, just like the race
You're
was
holding onto the edge of the barrel. Clear the decks! And the entire sail system, actually all the sails end up folding and end up collapsing down, and all the long, tall masts all of a sudden start leaning back, and the thing becomes real streamlined, and it just starts charging through the water. It's going pretty quick.
How you feeling over there?
You rolled the 20 on feeling
It
better.
does. You do feel some initial inertia, but you, with that crit 20, you recovered from your initial seasickness
Yeah.
pretty much permanently.
Thank God.
And you end up sailing into the night, basically.
Well, they wrote my idea for nighttime.
What were you gonna do?
Play in the ocean.
Oh, yeah, you're not gonna catch up.
I don't know. I was flying pretty high.
Yeah, you'll just be like at one point.
Don't forget that was a hand-me-down. You know, I'll give it
I
to you.
could get a nat 20.
Yeah, otherwise you're lost forever at sea.
And then you have to wake up the Titan. And it's like, can you throw me back on the ship, please?
I hope
I like
she
the
doesn't
idea
wake up.
Because
I can see his skeleton go flying, and all his flesh gets left behind because the initial inertia.
No, it's like the skeleton comes first, and then all the flesh is like.
It's like those cartoons
Oh,
where it builds
God.
itself back together.
And then whenever you finally land, it's just like skeleton first, then the rest of your flesh, and you're just back to being whole, but you're still dead regardless.
Eyeballs are the last thing that arrive.
They hit to the back of your head.
How am I feeling after the sleep?
A little sore, but you're fine.
Okay.
How about me?
Same.
Okay.
What's the captain doing?
You haven't seen the captain beyond just giving the order to let her rip.
Okay.
He goes back into his cabin.
I'm gonna go into his cabin. Or
Okay.
knock. I'm gonna knock on the door.
You don't hear a response.
It's Sinbad.
Still don't hear a response.
You
Knock, knock, knock.
just say, "Open the damn door, please." I'm deaf."
Eventually, after a few minutes, Captain comes to the door. You didn't see lights coming through the windows of the cabin. There is a dim light that comes over. Door to the cabin opens. Cabin's already in a nightgown. His nightcap on. He's like, "Yes." Looks at you.
I don't hear him. Or I can't read his lips.
Yeah, he's...
What's going on?
I'm going to bed.
Yeah. I'd be pretty annoyed too.
Good night. Bye. And he closes the door again.
It's like the Asian.
Yeah, that word got around fast in the afternoon. You see the light candle through the windows gets blown out.
I'm like, I go back to my cot and pull up my water skin.
Okay.
I'll let someone else go.
Well, besides the skeleton crew, there's like, are there any like people like just relaxing or whatever during the nighttime shift, maybe telling stories.
There's
or
a few people, couple people playing cards on the main deck. You know, just setting up in a barrel, and you know, just basically a few people that aren't ready to go to sleep yet, but they're chill. Mostly, it's just people. What crew members are necessary.
Yeah.
Now, on to my question. Oh,
Is anyone telling stories or whatever? Be like, oh, let me tell you a legend of old or whatever.
Not really. These guys are more into playing cards. One guy sitting off to the side, playing in a button box.
I can't really think of anything else to do. I just go up to the guys who are playing cards and ask if I can join.
They look at you. Next hand. Give us a second.
Alright. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just
They got a pile of buttons in the middle of the table, and they are playing classic Texas Hold'em poker.
Alright.
Classic as it gets.
with buttons. Yes, chips.
They're looking. Finally, some guy wins a pile of buttons. They're just playing mock currency right now.
Yeah.
They're not. It's not worth it. They're just trying to stay occupied. Deal you in a hand.
Alright.
Roll a d20.
13.
13.
Would this be a charisma?
No.
I mean, I'm just playing a game. I don't think there's any.
Your initial
Because of the
hand
specific- because of the-
your initial hand seems fairly good. Your experience of poker in the past. Some general bets go around the table. One guy completely folds. Two guys end up raising it twice.
Did they give him buttons?
Yeah, they
Okay.
just dolled him off side the buttons. Mostly off the guy who had just won.
Oh.
And they're sitting there and go ahead and roll another d20. Okay. One of the guys that raised the first time looks at your or do you raise at all?
You said my hand's fairly decent or whatever.
It's actually improved since last turn.
Improved? Wait, did you say raise or call?
You can do either.
Yeah, I'll just call.
Okay.
Mock poker. in
Believe me, I have a little inspiration from Matthew Mercer, but not a lot. They actually had an episode where they.
shakes forward.
She's away! Sorry. Sorry.
We all just hear that shout and go, "Oh my God, what's going on?"
Okay. One person ends up raising. One of the guys who originally raised. The other guy who raised, he just calls, and then passes to you. The next guy after you. The next guy after you, he just raises a standard call, passes. The guy who called last, he looks at that and he raises it a button. And then the it comes to you, since you're last in the round.
Alright, and you said my hand's still looking good?
You rolled another. Is that your
Yeah,
third
no,
dice
I
roll?
haven't rolled yet.
Oh
This is
yeah,
my
right.
second
Roll
one.
again.
Oh.
A card came up that just totally makes
Yeah,
your
I
hand
fold.
looks okay. Goes around a couple more times, and here the guy that only raised a button ended up having a flush.
Oh.
Yeah, he just rocked the world, and he had the best poker face. And
The poker face is specifically why I asked if it was a charisma check.
yeah, it's not serious enough to figure charisma checks.
Yeah.
But he takes a pile of buttons. It continues on this way most of the night.
Yeah,
When they're done, they end up throwing all the buttons back in this little, crate and shoving it back underneath with the rest of the supplies and freight that they're shipping.
But I was just gonna do a little small talk with them while we were playing the game or
Okay.
whatever. Just be asking them this be all familiar with each other, worked on different ships before.
Oh, we all used to serve on this ship.
Who was the captain before that?
Captain Smollett.
And how was he?
Half of him went in the ocean.
Ah,
The other half of him disappeared.
lovely.
That was a good cannibal, that one.
Oh god.
And guess from that, trusting you've been on other voyages, possibly. Have you been on voyages similar to this, going to an island for treasure?
Not so much hunting for treasure. No, we used to be all a naval crew during the Civil War. That's how we got back on this ship when she finally sailed out again. Figured we go home. And all of them aye.
So I take it this might be your last one then?
Oh, heck no. We'll be on this ship is our home. Except for Harry over there. Harry's over there sitting on the button box, just playing an old melancholy tune. He's like, he's got a girl at home.
Yeah. And then I was gonna ask, besides the new captain, he's taking the first mate, what do you know about them?
First mate, I actually haven't seen a Toku like him before. He's strange, that one.
What are Toku again?
Elvish.
I mean, which one?
The-
Toku's the broad.
The Toku's the
elves.
broad,
Okay,
yeah,
never
elf.
mind.
And they've never quite seen one like him before. He's not pale-skinned, but he doesn't mind technology either, so they're not familiar with them.
Okay.
So they're not too familiar with the first mate or whatever, but the captain though.
Captain, man, never heard of him. Just heard that when our ship was setting sail again finally, we got on.
And then nothing else more information-wise about the voyage we're taking, just going to this place.
If we get paid our coin, we sail.
Fair enough.
I'm not
Simple
doing it.
life.
I just gotta plug in my phone.
Roll an observation check.
Total of 17.
He seems like he's holding a little bit back.
Only a little bit back.
Yeah.
Was it when I talked about the captain, or
No,
just in general?
just in general.
Just in general.
Doesn't feel like he's giving you everything he knows.
They're all
Say-
ghosts.
Say, I mean, as a guest on the
Can you hear me?
ship, and as part of the crew,
John,
part of.
give me my phone. No.
So I mean, being part of the guest or whatever, especially being part of the entourage that helped finance this expedition, is there anything else I should be aware of? Basically, trying to lead on to the fact that I know he's gonna be
Nah, not really. I'm just here to work.
here to work. So, tell me, out of all the voyages you've been on, what's been the most interesting for you?
That'd be the time the captain died. We went up against the dragon scale that day. We fled for our lives in this thing at half power, and sails open all the way. Just barely got out.
Wait, am I aware of this? Or
Roll a knowledge check.
let's see, dragon scale. I think it was 3. Yeah, total of 20.
Total 20. Dragon scale is actually a pretty famous ship. It was part of the Civil War during Landon's Civil War. It was part of the North. And it was an armored vessel. Ran entirely on steam. and it actually was coated from stem to stern, including a roof, in dragon scales, along with its heavy wooden body.
I missed something cool.
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
And even though the ship does not have many guns, it is known for being near impenetrable.
So it's just basically an armored fortress in the seas.
It's a basic, slow-moving armored turtle.
The opposite of a glass cannon.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I'm picturing the thing I showed you earlier. I was like, I was almost.
Believe it or not, I already had this picked out 2 weeks in advance.
So what's going on?
I'm just talking to the crewmates.
No, I mean what? I'm asking him because
something I didn't hear. They're talking about he's talking about the crew.
But it's
The
like,
crew was playing poker with. And,
wait,
he's
so
trying to get a little information.
Civil
I
War.
was just wondering
Oh, are you talking about the Civil War like in Go?
No, not in Go. In Landon had a civil war in the last 20 years.
Oh, okay. So I know anything about that Civil War as well, or?
Roll a knowledge check.
The reason why.
Nope.
Not really. You've heard of the Dragon Scale, though. That's a very well-known ship.
That's just the only tale I know about the Civil War, really.
Pretty much.
Everything else is just kind of like up in the air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got you.
Yeah, I was whispering to the side so y'all could continue.
You know, I'd like to learn more about, like, you know, the seas and whatnot, but it's kind of hard to tell if, I have a feeling you may be holding back a little bit. So, that being said, why don't we make a wager about it? We'll play a friendly game. Just you and me. Mono of poker or whatever, and if I win, there'll be some more. And if you lose, and if I lose, then we'll just leave it at that.
Roll a charisma check.
Oof. So 12.
He's like, alright. Moves across, situates himself on the other side. Cards are dealt out. Go ahead and roll your initial dice.
So 7 plus.
And you would have the first go.
Nice, so what is it? Well, we're just playing cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how's my hand look? Wait, do I roll for my hand as
Your
well, or is it
hand
just
looks below average.
below average?
It's the first card, though. In Texas Hold'em poker, a lot can be
True.
told after a few cards.
It's usually towards the middle-ish end of the game where things actually start to pick up.
Yeah. So, that being said, I guess I'll... I forgot already the Texas rules. It's been a while. So, like, what was it on the first card?
You get 2 cards dealt to the table. You get 2 cards in your hand. Actually, you get 3 cards dealt to the table, 2 cards to your hand, and the initial bet is built off of the probability of you having a good hand off of the first 5, and then you can add 2 more to that afterwards.
Alright. So, I'm just at the first 3 right now?
Yeah, there's first 3 on the table, 2 that you can see, and it doesn't look all that hot.
Doesn't look all that hot. Let's see if I can charisma and bluff my way through this.
Go ahead.
Looking at it, it's like, I'll call it.
Okay, roll a charisma check.
Oh my goodness. 9.
Okay. He calls it as well. Another card's flipped. Go ahead and roll a d20 for your next card. Okay. Your hand's improved. Not by a lot, though.
Can I see what his face looks like to see if he looks kind of like
Roll an observance check.
if he's trying to bluff his way or not? 23.
23. He looks like he's got his poker face on real well. You can't read through that.
Okay. But
This
you
is
said
the
my
one
hand's
chip guy.
improved, right?
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit. I'll call it again.
Okay.
See if I can charisma my way through this one again. So 16.
Yeah.
16 for that one.
looks at you, throws his cards down at the table, seeing as this is the last hand. He had garbage. Yeah, and yours wasn't much better. Both of you had garbage hands. One-on-one Texas Hold'em is not all that an
You
amazing
had like
game.
a 2, a 7, and a queen.
Yeah, there's like nothing you could get off of that. Unless you will like a crit 20 at the end and they all just happen to be clubs.
Oh.
You got 5 aces somehow.
It's like, well then. See, what else you been holding back?
Well, apparently there's word out on the ocean that the Dragon Scale still wants to sink this ship. She's never been seen back at port since the Civil War ended.
So just kind of gone rogue, basically.
Oh yeah.
What's more about the captain of that ship or whatever?
Rumor has it his ship was sunk by the Dragon Scale.
Oh,
That
well
that bastard lied to us.
that's completely different from what he told us. Oh, son of a bitch.
What did he tell you?
He's gonna say, get this. He said it was some damn sea monster.
I've heard of plenty of sea monsters in my life, but yeah, rumor has it he was sunk by the Dragon Scale.
You know, he told us it was a big sea monster with tentacles that came up and just grabbed his ship.
Well, if something did do that, I would be quite the story, especially if he survived. Now, words on the docks that he was sunk by the Dragon Scale and drifted along on a board till he found shore. Barely made it back, apparently. That's how he got his peg leg.
You know, he did say that he did float for a while, and the reason he got that leg was because of the ship, or because of the
I'm not
dragon,
there.
I know, right?
or because of that sea-like monster. But, and then he said it was guarding some treasured island, but if what you say is true, then maybe all of this is just a revenge scheme of some sort.
Well, regardless, we get paid. Plus, if we get to sink the ship that nearly brought us down the first time, that'd be even better.
Yeah, problem with that is, well, you have to live to get paid at first.
Well, not necessarily. Well,
Yeah,
this is true. Live, yes.
That's a given.
It's like you have to live in order to get paid. So, if this
And
is...
only Henry over there has somebody back on shore.
It's like, so, if this is true, then all I can say is we gotta give him one hell of a fight.
Yeah, we got plans.
That or
At
just-
this point,
I guess those
That are
the
called
rifle
Captain
barrels
Bulls.
and spiked
at this
bullet.
point, Carpenter and the 2 under elves, the dark elves, they end up coming back up. They're covered in soot, been sweating. They've been working hard all day. He's like, "Yeah, we got plans." Apparently, someone's talking a little too much. Sits down at the barrel.
And I look at him, it's like, if you think I'm going to tattle, it's like, if you think I'm just going to snitch, there's more to me than just that.
Well, good on ya. Good on ya. Take a D4 advantage when using charisma on the crew from now on.
Yes!
Oh, yeah, there we go.
As long as you don't betray them and actually give up on your word.
Wait, hold on.
Would that be 2 D4s then?
Wait, so that would be 2d4s.
You would
then.
get a
Just
double.
with him.
You would get a D6 now from now on.
Oh, so.
So yeah.
I know who's talking to the crew from now on.
No, we don't.
Actually, no, because he always gets a huge debuff. Because he's straight and talking to a bunch of men.
It's not that bad still.
Yeah, but still.
But Carpenter, they look. Yeah. Well, we got something we didn't have before.
Rifled barrels and pointed cannonballs.
Hush. Good funding.
That is true. Mossy did fund this entire thing.
You bet that bitch did. This shit was only worth about half that much. What we really spent that money on.
I'm just gonna start laughing to myself.
Oh my god.
I have a question real quick, because that's going to determine if I am out there. Is it brightly lit enough to see things on paper?
No, I mean, they got one lantern next to their...
No, I'm asking, is it a full moon bright night?
No, it's dark,
Okay.
cloudy.
Okay, no,
I'm just gonna start laughing.
Yeah.
Gosh, she's so gullible.
Well, She paid extra money, but we wanted more. But what we were really getting ready for was our project. Carpenter's like, yeah, I got something good planned. To the dragon scale of pieces.
I'm assuming this is part of the heavy lifting you may not told me about earlier.
Yeah, we'll need that later.
Gotcha.
He pounds on the grid that you guys are sitting on. He's like, we're gonna turn this spot right here into the biggest turning cannon you have ever seen.
Well, I'm liking the sound of that.
If they ask me to make the bullet, it's gonna be so much fun.
So, what is the plan? Are you trying to sink the ship down or take it over?
Well,
Overall.
taking the dragon scale would be a feat in and of itself. Sinking it would probably be easier. But, if we had our way, we'd sink her.
Fair enough. And then after this, since it's not, the whole treasure island sort of dream or whatever that our compatriots were led to believe.
Oh, we're still looking for the Wandering Island. Chances are we'll never find it.
It's like, but that being said, though, the main goal is, sink the ship. What happens after that?
Well, we are traveling with freight, but this ship wasn't originally named the Blasphemous. It was the Victorious. It was the last ship and the head of the fleet before the Civil War ended. We covered it up and only put a little leak out there so that eventually, maybe, a dragon scale will come hunting us if we set up enough spots at port.
Gotcha. So,
But
spread rumors, get your name known across the seas, have the dragon scale come hunting you,
and then
sink
outgun
it
her.
down.
Yeah. And once we're done, she's been privateering for quite a while. If we can salvage from the wreckage, we'll make a pretty penny. And if we find the Wandering Island while we're at it, we'll be doubly good.
So it'll just be an added bonus on top.
Aye. And then we can sink this puppy for good.
Fair enough. That being said, what I was wanting to know is, any plans to travel elsewhere in the world? Maybe go back to Go, or...
Go. I don't want to go to that vampire-ridden place. Heck no. I'm going back to London when I'm done.
Is that the same for the rest of you?
Most of them nod their heads, shake them. Everybody's got their own goals here, it seems.
Well, after the expedition, obviously, it's after we're done with the mission or whatever, it's just how much? I'm trying to word this properly. So, after the mission, do you know any good ships that'll be heading back down that way? Because I plan on going back there.
To go? Oh, we'll stop off and go a couple of different ports on our travels, but I'm not stepping off deck. Not if I can help it.
Fair enough. I just have personal family business there.
No,
So.
well, if you have family business there, I pity you.
Yeah, I've been getting that a lot, but I have a feeling things might turn out for the better from what I've been hearing from my family, at least.
Okay, well. I don't know about you fellas. I'm turning in for the night. Carpenter gets up. The elves follow him.
And then to the guys I was playing with, and then I say goodnight to Carpenter, and then as to the other guys I was playing with, especially the one who leaked the information to me, it's it's been a pleasure. Look forward to working with you all.
Yeah. Well, depends on if you can help us sink a ship.
Trust me, I like destroying things.
You look like it.
And
You
have a
destroyed
tiny
my hand.
cheese. And while not originally part of the character, I really like the whole obsessed with explosives thing I'm going for
Because
right
it
now.
destroyed my hand. That was just luck right there.
Well, everybody ends up dispersing, going to bed.
I do the same.
Okay.
Okay, flashback a few hours earlier. So, a few things I want to do. First, I want to go check out the blacksmith.
Okay. They're still hard at work at this point.
Yeah, I was hoping to talk to them for a few minutes.
Okay.
So this was before they went to go talk to me or whatever?
This is basically we all split into our different directions. He went to
When
do-
we woke up, I took a step back
right.
outside, looked at it, went to the side, noticed we lurched forward, and then I went back to the room to go
You
do
left
stuff.
some
They're doing
cards.
stuff or whatever. I want to do one thing before I go to bed though, but I'll wait. They could go first or whatever.
Okay. I want to walk up and I'm going to introduce myself. Ask for their names.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, I'm Reus. I'm a bit of a blacksmith.
So we do have.
No,
What was his name? Carpenter again?
Nathan.
Carpenter.
Nathan Carpenter.
Oh, okay.
Task.
I gotta remember all these names.
Jonathan.
Jonathan Joestar.
Sirius Black. Did I make a joke?
No.
Jokes must be funny.
No, it'd be like the Game Grumps thing would go. Funny joke.
All right. You walk up to the three smiths. They're working with wood, sawing, carving, assembling something. Working on building
Is the
something.
forge a light?
Forge is a light. They are occasionally hammering out nails and stuff to put this stuff together.
Okay.
You notice? Did you said you introduced yourself?
I said my name is Reus, and I asked for their names.
Oh.
I said I'm a bit of a blacksmith myself.
Okay. Nathan Carpenter. He's like, Reus, good to meet you. I guess this is Hina and Hannah.
Are they guys or? Oh yeah, we're all men. Okay.
At this point, Hannah looks at you and says, yes, we're all men. Thank you for making that abundantly clear.
That was out of.
You didn't do it! I used it!
Okay, so Carpenter is the blacksmith and the carpenter.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the other
So
two were like
Hina
helping
and
hands.
Hannah?
Yeah, Hina looks like a dude from what you can tell as a simpleton. Simple person. And Hannah, after she makes the comment, it is apparent that she is a dude. Or I'm sorry, she
Whoa!
I'm kidding. No.
She's a dude.
No.
When did this happen?
She appears to be related to Hina.
So she's a woman.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I really messed with your brain there, didn't I?
Yes, you very.
I messed with my
The
own there for a minute
pronouns
too.
are wrong. No, okay, so
This means you could find somebody.
yeah, you got one woman on board. You can get one.
I feel like it's gonna be like that scene from Mulan. What are they? Concubines. Ugly concubines.
She looks like she got kicked in the face by a horse or something.
I love the one that's like they're concubines and one is like tea or whatever. It's like, ugly
Oh yeah, 'cause I
concubines.
just remember the scene you're talking about. I love that.
Speaking of, since we're going off topic for a moment, last night I was in Walmart. I think I told you this.
The no story ends well when it starts with last night I was at Walmart.
I'm walking through Walmart. I turn a corner, and here in high heels, a long red dress, and obviously wearing a bra, is a 60 to 70-year-old balding man. And I'm like, okay.
Happy Halloween.
Florida man strikes again.
Florida man did strike again.
Respect it. That was Florida woman. Now,
Depends on what day.
anyway, so I introduce myself, get their names, and I say, I was wondering if I could have permission to use your forge occasionally.
Well, when we're not using it, sounds fine to me. We gotta close up here soon for the night, but
So you wouldn't mind me keeping it open for a while?
I think everyone else here trying to sleep, and you do notice some people are hanging up bunks
Oh, in the
all over the place. Because at night on a ship, I don't know if you've read many books about sailing,
No.
but they roll up their bunks and they keep them next to cannons and stuff and next to supplies.
I would think specifically the forge though they would keep away from.
No, the forge is built right into the main deck area.
Okay.
Everything is very open on a ship. Very few walls unless it's cutting off like supply rooms
Okay,
and stuff.
never mind then. Noticing that,
What's
can
the
I roll an
ship?
observation to see if I notice that so I
Victorious.
cannot say what I just said?
The dragon scale.
Dragon scale. Okay.
Can I roll an observation to see if I see that, and if so, I will not have said that obviously. This was a Trevor mistake, not a reuse mistake.
It's about this time that people started taking them out, so no. You only observe once they say something about it.
Okay.
So.
Anyway. That wasn't reuse, that was Trevor.
Yeah.
So when
I was about to go.
it actually gets really annoying when people try to like make noises when I do that because it kind of sends my brain into.
Oh, okay.
It's basically like if you're trying to push something against a wall, and then somebody starts hitting you on the head.
Yeah. I actually, I was actually, you know that dun 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 dun, you know, ringtone or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually had that going on a repeat, and these guys started tapping their pencils and pounding on a desk, and they turned it into a whole beatbox thing.
One thing I did forget though. What's the name of that new in the actual captain's name? The new one.
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly.
O'Malley.
O'Malley. Carrick
O'Malley.
O'Malley.
Eric O'Malley, yeah.
Hey, my name's Carrick too.
Yeah, but his has an I.
Oh.
You don't have an A. Anyway, so when you're not using it, it's okay for me too?
Yeah, as long as everyone else doesn't mind because they're trying to sleep.
Okay. I'm gonna say thank you. Ask, do you guys need help with anything?
Not tonight, we're just
Tomorrow?
packing up. Tomorrow? Yeah, sure, we could use your help.
Okay. I specialize weapons and armor and small devices if you need help with any of that, but I can work with basics like nails and everything like that.
Alright. Well, yeah, tomorrow.
Okay, have a good night. And then I go, and I'm going to be pulling an all-nighter and all day tomorrow.
Okay.
Which is wonderful because I have coffee. I go back outside, and is there anybody else on deck, like, working at the moment, or is everybody heading back
There's
in?
a few people keeping lookout. They got the lanterns lit so you can see the water. They're just trying to keep look for, you know, rocks and icebergs and whatnot in their way. There's the guy generally just keeping the steering going.
I want to walk to the head of the ship. I don't know the words. So
I'm not gonna
Okay.
hit you too hard on it because I don't remember half of them half the time anyway. And
I have only been on small boats. Anyway, I want to go to and I want to look out and I want to see if there's anything interesting out there
okay,
that would catch my eye.
roll an observance check.
23.
Nice, good roll.
23. On the dark of this night, you don't see much.
Okay.
Few shapes moving in the distance. Looks like it could probably be land.
Okay. Are people pulling cots out? Are they sleeping on
on the main deck?
the main deck?
No.
Okay. I want to go back in to after that. I want to go back in. Grab one of the lanterns.
Okay.
From the room we sleep in. Go back out with my notebook and all the schematics I have, including the one for the gun, and I want to take the pistol, the revolver out.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm basically going to take the pistol and the schematic I got from the gun shop owner for the double barrel, and I'm going to try and work them together in order to create a working actual schematic, if I can, for the rest of the night.
Okay. Roll an observation check
Would
and a
that be
dexterity
knowledge?
check.
Knowledge and dexterity? Because it'd be off of my
Dexterity
knowledge
is
of
for the writing. Observance and knowledge, I suppose.
Okay. So,
Observance first,
Okay.
because you actually have to look at the
So that'd
schematics.
be 12.
12? Okay, go ahead and roll your knowledge check.
That'd be 17.
Working through the night, you end up running into a lot of different troubles with your schematics, trying to figure out exactly how you could take the current build of the existing gun you have, plus the schematics that you have to make it a working model.
I was actually kind of reversing it because you said it wasn't a very good schematic. It was okay.
Yeah, it's not a good schematic.
I was basically trying to fill in the blanks.
Yeah, and at that point, yeah, even then, with your 2 rolls being as low as they were, it's still not helpful. You're gonna need to work on it quite a bit more to be able to pull something out of what you got so far.
Oh.
So, I mean, you got plenty of time on a ship. You're gonna be here for quite a while. But for the night, no, you don't have much success. You still got a lot of problems. It's one of those times when you're working a math problem, and the more things you figure out, the more things you realize.
So I did figure some stuff.
Yeah, you figured out some stuff.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
But the more stuff you figure out, the more problems you're running into.
Well, that's as I go on, I write the stuff I figure out, cross out the stuff that's wrong, and all that.
Yeah.
And I just work till morning.
Okay.
Can I do 2 rolls since I was working all night?
You can do it again for the day with disadvantage.
No, not the day. Since I worked through the night.
Yeah, since you worked for the night, if you're going, that's for the night's
2
work.
rolls for the night.
No.
Oh, okay.
One roll for the night. Trust me, it only gets harder as you get more tired, and you've been up for quite a bit.
We just woke up from an 8-hour
We woke
nap.
up at
You
8.
worked from an 8-hour sleep that was to recover and heal. It wasn't, it wasn't like, oh, I feel awake and rested now. It was my body is trying to recover sleep.
Okay.
So.
And our body still hurt.
Yeah, and your body does still hurt.
Not as bad as yours.
Dang, talk about an FU.
Just writes on the piece of paper, F you.
I can talk.
No, you just wrote there just to emphasize. Just write an F and then a U. Just be
No,
like,
He's like devolving,
I'm
it's just
seeing
an F
I'm
and-
seeing Uncle Sam's "We Want You," but it's a giant F instead of a face.
you
I'm
want
gonna
to
do
F.
water manipulation tonight, and it's gonna spill on the ground. It's gonna say F U.
Yeah.
What?
Anyway, so I work through the night, and once morning hits, I'm gonna go make some coffee to keep myself up.
Okay. You're making it from your own personal stash with your own
I'm
coffee
using
pot?
my stash. I'm going down to the kitchen in the morning when everybody starts working in there,
Okay.
and I'm gonna ask, because I know you're gonna do this to me. It's not your proficiency. I do need to go to the kitchen to cook it anyway. Is Stephanie or anybody friendly looking there?
Stephanie is hard at work already when you get up in the morning. She is
I'm-
already hard at work.
I didn't sleep.
Or when you finish working on your stuff and everybody else starts to wake up.
At sunup, I go.
At sunup, yeah, Stephanie is already up. She is ready to go. She is working hard in the kitchen. She didn't even come back to the cot room last night. She slept in the kitchen.
Well, don't jump ahead, cause I'm still all the way back
Okay,
when I
well,
wake up.
She's
I'm
she's
planning
around the
on
next
seeing
day.
her that night.
I was just gonna.
Yeah, okay.
So is she like not paying attention, busy?
She's busy as heck, but
Okay, so she's busy, so she wouldn't be helping me. I go to an empty. Are there any fires? We have
she's
some.
kind of using that. They only have one massive stove.
Okay. Are there any free spaces on it?
Not really. She's working pretty hard. This is imagine the old flat top stoves.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she's using most of the surface area, seeing as she's preparing breakfast for 350 people. The kitchen is loaded right now.
My pot doesn't include a fire, does it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
No.
I'm gonna walk up. You got a chef.
Roll a knowledge check.
Huh?
Roll a knowledge check.
For what?
Because I'm asking you to.
19. Why?
19. It occurs to you that there is one other location that you could get a decent flame going for
Yeah,
heating
but
your
I don't
pot.
want to wake the people up in there that are asleep.
This is all in one massive room. You got the kitchen in the back end of the room, and the blacksmith forge at the other end of the room, and everyone's
I
sleeping
thought the
in
kitchen
between.
and the blacksmith would be on opposite sides of the boat.
Not opposite sides, opposite front and back.
That's what I mean.
Yeah, but it is still one massive room.
Yeah, but that would still wake up the
Okay,
people over there.
to give you an idea,
I understand.
this boat
what
is
you're
only
saying.
120 feet from end to
I
end. You
understand
got the
what you're
kitchen
saying.
underneath here, and you got the forge smith over here.
In order to start an oven is a lot quieter than opening the bellows up, starting the flame. It's a lot louder to do that.
you at least know that there's another
Okay.
spot where you
Oh,
have
I
a
thought you
potential
were telling
spot.
me I had to do that.
No,
Okay.
you do know that there's another spot where you could use a coffee pot.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you have to use the forge. No, I'm gonna go up and say, "Excuse me, Stephanie." It is so weird. That's my mom's name. And
That's so funny. It's two moms' name.
it's so weird to say my mom's name.
No, you're saying his mom's name.
It's my mom's name.
I know, but
Yeah.
it's named after his mom.
I know. Anyway, I say, Stephanie, is there any free space on the stove so I can warm up a coffee pot?
She looks at that. Roll a charisma check.
It's 19.
19. Okay. She looks at the coffee pot, takes a coffee pot from you, reaches to the back of the stove with a cloth and whatnot, pulls a kettle out from the mass of different pots and whatnot, pops open the top, pours in a bunch of hot water for you, sticks it back, hands it to you.
Thank you. And it's nice to see that you found something to do. I'm happy for you.
At this point, she also shoves a plate with a few biscuits and gravy on it.
Okay, this is honestly a huge meal for you, so I just go, thank you, and kind of...
It's not a lot of... It's a few small biscuits
No.
and gravy. It's ration style, but
I know,
it's...
but I usually nibble on some bread and drink some water for a meal.
Okay.
So this is huge for Rhea, so I got one arm hug, say thank you, and then walk away.
Okay.
And drink my coffee. Okay, now I'm done. That was my morning, so now
And
back
night.
to your night. The morning was part of the
YouTube
night for me.
rewind style.
What?
YouTube rewind style.
Oh, YouTube.
So previous night,
Mm-hmm.
we go outside. All that happens. We split up. I go to my cot, and I pull out my. Before I go in the room, I make sure my tankard is cleaned out
Okay.
all the way.
Very cleaned out.
I
Roll a
can fill it-
dexterity check
I can
on
fill
it.
it up for you
Huh?
again.
Roll a dexterity check on it.
I think that's the problem.
You want me to fill it up for you again?
15.
15. It's still got a smell to it.
Your wife works in the kitchen.
Gosh, I don't want to bother her, and she's not my wife.
I don't know why
3,
I said
2,
wife.
1. Yet. All right. So I attempt to clean it again.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your d20. Dexterity.
19.
19.
Let him clean this top.
He did shove it into someone's vomit and bile.
I can fill it up for you again.
It works.
Okay.
It takes a lot of elbow grease. It takes you a while, but you finally clean the smell out of it as well.
Are you using your water bending?
As soon as she cleaned it, I
was
stumble
saying
back
you
in the
could've
room.
done
Oh,
some
hey, look.
Water cleaning.
Would that be considered?
John. It's like as soon as you're done cleaning, I stumble back in. Oh, look, a cup.
I think he might actually kill you for that.
Twitch.
I
Alright.
get it.
I was
He's
looking
just
down.
twitching.
Oh.
Eye
okay.
starts twitching
I was like, Twitch. TV. Are we streaming? Yes, we are.
with this entire time.
It like zooms out and some kid's just watching it.
Alright, so anyways. I go to my cot. Pour what's left of my seawater into the cup.
You sound so sad.
I am sad. I am so sad. I keep thinking about those 4 points I missed.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you have 4 points in what you. Oh no.
I have 1 point
Yeah, you
in
have
water
1
control
point.
now.
Yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. I will do
Keep it.
water control.
Keep that.
Okay.
Keep this.
Are people already putting up cots?
Officers that are coming in, and it doesn't look like people are coming in yet.
Okay. Do you want me to do a perception roll?
No.
Okay.
Just go ahead and roll the knowledge check.
19?
19. Yeah, that'll be a success. You end up getting the water to float around the cup a little bit more before you end up splashing most of it back into the mug.
Oh, so I get it back in the mug.
Uh-huh.
Sweet.
I don't know if I'm doing it. I'm imagining like you like making shapes out of the water.
It's mainly like
I know you're making it vine out. I'm imagining like
Imagine-
making a small dragon.
Imagine, what's her name? Baska Goda from Legend of Zelda Water Temple.
I know what he's
64,
doing.
yeah,
It was just in my
with
head.
the eyeball floating around in it. Which is like the best level in that game. Everyone else hates the Water Temple. I love the Water Temple.
Water temple sucks.
13.
I loved that temple.
It's so convoluted.
Failure.
Oh my gosh.
Gotta hit that 15 or higher area.
Gosh.
Even for just making
What did you get?
Okay.
A 14?
14.
Oh, just barely. Well, practice. We have 2 years.
Maybe less.
This is night 1.
I'll just do 3 more times.
Okay.
I'll
That's
roll
like
it 3 times.
700 and something. Okay.
Success.
21.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my god, my turn too.
It's about time. About this time, people start hanging up cots and whatnot. Floating in, taking
Hammocks.
off their hammocks. Yeah, hanging up
Stealth.
their...
So
yeah,
trying to do it.
quietly.
Yeah.
No.
8.
Succeeds.
Oh, God.
Oh.
These people are real tired.
Floating water is not that loud.
Until the steam comes.
It's more the noise you're making while you do it. That's
Oh
loud.
my gosh. No moose sounds. No moose sounds. Alright, so.
You're straining really hard.
That's
So
what
I got
was
2,
thinking
I got
with
1 more.
concentration. Fuck.
I let out a
Nope.
gas.
13.
Sad.
True.
Sad.
I send you good vibes to give you +3.
Let me come in with my leadership skills. You want to float it like this?
Oh man.
Suddenly
I
have
better
this
see sparkles.
Oh.
Fabulous.
You said sparkles, and all of a sudden I'm seeing like My Pretty Pony or whatever it is.
Rainbow Dash to the rescue.
The sad thing is, I don't even know who that is.
That's okay. That's the only my.
I have 3 little sisters.
At least I can
know
say I'm not a
exactly who
brony.
that is.
Neither am I. I
See,
knew people
I
who
have
were
like
bronies,
all
so
of the knowledge, none of the shame from having 3 baby sisters.
all of the knowledge, none of the shame.
Like, I know all the Disney princesses' names,
Oh, who doesn't know all the Disney princesses?
even
names?
Princess and the
obscure
Frog?
ones.
Like
Black
Yeah.
Cauldron.
Black Cauldron was one of those taboo Disney movies that I wasn't
I
allowed to
actually
watch.
really liked the Black Cauldron.
I wasn't allowed to watch it as a child.
It did have a lot of like corpses and stuff.
witchcraft, corpses, stuff like that. Yeah, we weren't
They're
allowed
like,
to watch that.
ooh.
What's Princess and the Frog?
Yeah. I actually liked most of the Disney films, so I can't say nothing.
Yeah, I grew up on Disney films.
I'm talking as an adult. I watched the Disney films.
I still do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Can I learn
Hey,
skills by
Disney
myself?
films are good.
Especially Pixar.
Like,
I
DC
love
would be a
sitting
little
in that
higher.
Room with a bunch of
With
other people
Volt?
watching Up, and like seeing them cry.
you could
as my
try,
emotions
but
crushed so
Volt
does
would
nothing.
require
That
something
was
to jump
the
over.
worst scene, was that
I
scene.
loved it. Like
Okay, no, that one scene right there where
And you
know
don't want to
she
be
dies,
flinging
you're just
yourself
like,
up
this
into
is
the air that
worst
much on a ship
movie
that doesn't
ever.
have a lot of.
see, like
Landing
I have
space?
No soul. Like,
I didn't cry, but everyone else cried.
but I just love looking around. Like I'm the
That's
manliest
enough
man.
space. 5, 10, 15 feet.
What are you doing?
Actually, probably better go this way.
Are you
Yes,
practicing
but what
your
would you
charge?
vault over?
There's barrels all over the
Yeah,
place,
just
isn't
move
it?
a barrel right here.
I can strength a barrel.
Just find a light barrel.
Alright.
Just imagining a barrel, he opens it, light comes out.
It's a light barrel.
No, that's our light. What do you think we use on the lanterns?
Oil?
Light potion.
Larry Lampart's luxurious light products.
Monroe's light potion. Very rare supplies because he's dead.
Weasley and Weasley, liquid light.
Honestly, it sounds like something they would make. And if you throw that on someone's eyes, they're permanently blind, basically.
Alright, I'm gonna keep my 5 and I'm gonna go look for Stephanie.
Okay. You find her cleaning up the kitchen. What officers and soldiers are not going to bed yet? They're finishing eating a meal at various tables that have been set up downstairs.
Do you need help cleaning?
Yes, please. Thank you, and much. She motions, moves you. You don't actually read this on her lips, but she just grabs you, moves you in front of a mountain of dishes, and you feel a cloth being draped over your shoulder, and you're like, what have I gotten myself into?
I'm totally okay with that. Can I try to read lips?
Yeah, go ahead. Nope.
Oh my gosh, it's so hard to get skill. My luck today. Alright. Do I need to use agility or dex or observance? Melee precision.
For washing dishes?
For washing dishes.
With the claws in your hand.
Roll a dexterity check.
This
Roll
is
a
definitely
dexterity
advantage.
check.
Unless you want to throw them, and that's
What's your
agility
dexterity
check.
score?
It's +5.
+5? Okay. Roll a dexterity check.
Roll an 8.
13.
Yeah, you
13.
get the dishes. It takes you quite a while, but you get them all washed up.
Okay. Can I throw some agility in there and kind of like dance as I'm doing some dishes?
Who doesn't dance when they're doing
I
dishes?
know!
Do you want to try?
Well, this only beat my head. The waves, that's all I hear.
Come on, you can do it. Just roll a nat 20
John.
and impress your girlfriend with your dance moves.
Wouldn't that be charisma?
Roll an agility check for dancing while dishes.
Yeah, you're... you got-
18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
You, like,
You do
you do
dance
the
for
moonwalk
quite a
you're
while,
scrubbing.
but eventually,
Flip
one of the sailors, looking extremely tired and exhausted,
I'm not
comes over.
stomping.
You're not stomping, but you did end up dropping a couple dishes, and he comes over and he looks at
I
you.
would stop if there was even one, and I would try to catch it.
Well, they're metal dishes.
Oh,
It's not
okay.
like they're gonna break.
So it just clanged.
And you didn't hear them clang. It's like, oh, dropped a dish. Pick it up. Wash it up. Still bebopping around. And, you know, he comes over and he puts his hands on your shoulders and he's like, no. And then he
Charisma?
turns around. Yeah, go ahead.
But don't you feel the beat, brother?
20?
No.
Holy cow!
What did you roll?
A 19 on a guy who's pissed. You just woke him up.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I thought this was
My
the
one
opposite.
good roll.
Sean.
You're lucky we did the PvP for all your bad ones.
Oh my
Someone's gonna kill you.
gosh.
Sean. It could be what you should have done or whatever. While dancing, instead of water bending, wash bending.
Oh my
That's
god.
why I kept pointing. Use
I've
your
already-
wash bin.
I've already used up all my
I
points.
thought you had 3 left.
No, he
I've already
spent them
used all
all.
those 3.
He
Oh,
spent
okay.
them all on water manipulating from his mug.
For winning and failing. I'm back down to 0.
Wash bending. Do some wash bending.
Some soap bending.
So
Oh god, that
Um,
sounds so wrong.
I finished the dishes.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to finish the dishes. By the time you finish with them and turn around, you see next to the stove, a bedroll has been laid out, and Stephanie looks sound asleep.
Okay.
Just go sit next to him.
It crossed my mind, but I didn't want to be weird. But I let the dice be weird.
Do the charisma. She likes you. Do the charisma.
I need a picture of that. I need a picture of like 2 dudes blushing red, one of them partially shirtless,
Let the
and
dice
then
be weird.
2 ghosts behind them, and the ghost saying, "I'm not weird," and then the guy who's actually standing there half shirtless, but I'll let the dice be weird.
That's basically what's gonna happen with me and Carl later on.
Oh god, it is. It's gonna be you and Carl.
I need a shirt like that.
If
And
we
then
get
Odin
enough
just
fans,
peek-
we can do a merch
We
store.
could do a merch store
And
and
then
have,
you just see Odin
you know,
peeking like, randomly from a barrel. That is so wrong.
No. He pops out. He's blushing. That is good.
Oh!
No, I'm seeing Odin sitting here with some manga or something with a couple cat girls. Ooh, that is good.
Oh, no, Odin.
And draw Odin to look like,
A weeb?
what's his name? From SpaceX. Who owns SpaceX? He owns Tesla.
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk, yeah. Elon Musk as Odin. Because Elon Musk likes anime and cat girls.
Well, I mean, so do we, so.
I don't.
Eh.
You like anime?
I love anime.
He loves anime.
I watch
You
a
don't
ton
like
of
anime?
anime.
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of it, but
Well, I don't watch a lot either, but I still like it.
I appreciate it for what it is. But
I've
you're
watched
saying-
like 3 anime.
I
right
like
now.
anime. I don't like cat girls though. Furries are weird.
How many proficiencies
Half
do we
furries
get?
are even weirder.
4?
Yeah.
That's not a
What is my spiritual meditation used
I'm just
for
saying I
now?
don't like furries.
It's gonna be water type manipulation
Like
or
cat girl people?
spiritual.
It's just a
Because I already have
years on the
elemental
head.
water.
It's really weird.
That, for the
I mean,
most
that
part,
doesn't
has
bother me.
kind
The
of
part
been
that bothers me
debunked.
is
It's
how
gonna be
they
just
make it
basically
so
meditation for
Oh, yeah,
self-healing
that's
and
just
stuff
like
like
weird.
that.
And I'm just like,
But
It's
that's
not
what
going to be
pretty much
linked to
every
light
anime does.
abilities or sensing
I mean,
Well,
there's anime girls
divine
and
stuff
there's weird
anymore.
half
It's more gonna be like
anime girls,
self-buff,
and then they try to
self-nerfs,
sexualize it. I'm just like,
stuff like that.
this is a weird fantasy.
You think that's weird?
What is?
I mean, sorry. Let me change the tone. You think that's weird?
What did you think was weird?
No,
Cat girls.
no, I'm just saying it.
Trust me.
Trust me. There's weirder shit.
I was
There's a-
about to say, if you think that's weird, stay away
If
from
you think
anime.
cat girls are weird, just go visit Japan for a little while. The squids will get to you.
No, I mean, my friend used to live in Japan, and he's told me all the great stories, and I'm just like, oh.
Anyway, back to what
Shira.
you were doing. Your dice be weird.
Oh, okay. How big is the cot?
the bedroll
It's a
she's
bedroll.
sleeping
It's
on.
a sleeping bag.
Is she spread out like this, or is she cuddled?
It's a one-person sleeping bag size,
Oh.
and she is on her side, just kind of rolled over away from where you were doing the dishes.
She didn't even say goodnight to you.
I know. I'm a little hurt. I
That's
can't.
a bad girlfriend. I'm joking.
I'm not even gonna go into explanation anymore. I'm too tired.
What are you going
I
to
got-
explain about my joke?
Not your joke.
Oh, okay.
I grab some paper and chalk.
She probably said good night, but you were too busy
Yeah,
dancing.
That's why I was thinking tap him on the shoulder.
I write on there. Wake me up if you need any help. I hope you slept good. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay.
And I take the note and I take it and I put it kind of where her hand is.
Okay. She doesn't make any obvious move.
And I walk out and I go to deck and I will meditate listening to the ocean.
Okay. Roll a d12 for me.
5.
Don't hear anything.
Oh, I'm not trying to hear. Oh, okay.
You said listen to the ocean.
I said meditate.
Listening
You're
to the
meditating,
ocean.
but it's all on you. You don't sense anything besides the rock of the boat.
Do I roll a d20 for spiritual meditation? Not a d12?
If you're trying to build a skill off of it to produce a result, yes. If you're not trying to produce any kind of result, you meditate and you don't
I
hear
will
the ocean.
spend a point.
Okay. At that point, you can roll
Through spiritual meditation, not through manipulation.
What are you trying to accomplish?
I will spend all 5 points,
Oh, damn.
and I'll just see what I can get. I'll just be tossing myself out there. I guess you could say, seeing if anything comes back.
Okay. Kind of like a spiritual radar. Okay.
He's
More like
turning into
sonar.
Aquaman with his echolocation,
Let's
but on a
see here.
spiritual level.
Roll a d20.
19.
Oh, I have the wrong dice here. Alrighty. Arbitrary number. Where the heck? No, come on.
I passed on my curse.
not the D10.
That
And
was
I
the
lost
joke.
it. So you rolled a 19. Okay. That's 100%. I wasn't expecting to do this tonight.
Oh, no.
Was not expecting to
Oh,
do
no.
this at frickin' all. But I just rolled a 100% high. I just rolled a 90 plus a 0. I just rolled a full 90. Or a
100.
100, yeah. Technically not, that's a 90, but your 19 was frickin' high.
Oh, no.
The Titan talks to you.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
lucky I'm awake.
I am
You-
sleepy. So is everybody else.
While it takes you quite a while. It's the middle of the night, third watch.
So you're like here and I'm here, so we're just like.
You have actually
I've been
sensed-
doing dishes. I
Yeah.
think you're...
it's early morning, like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Pitch
You came
black
out
outside.
Here and I'm sitting
How
here.
was my conversation?
So we're just like.
Oh, you went to
here
bed
chilling.
at like 10, 11 at night,
Oh,
I'd
okay.
presume. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was later than that.
Oh, heck no.
12-ish.
No.
We
No.
played cards for an hour and a half.
You,
then went to bed.
yeah. You were
I still had that one thing I wanted to do before bedtime, but
okay. Hold that thought.
What
Did you want to do?
well.
I can't breathe.
Are you? Do you?
No,
I haven't.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just thinking. My imagination is horrible. Okay. Oh my gosh. I didn't mean to
I have
worry you.
asthma, and you like
Oh.
freaked me out.
I am so sorry.
Easily freaked out friend.
My bad.
I'm
bad.
literally the mother of every group I'm in.
Yes.
Being that it was
What
still
was
the-
that about then?
Oh, dude, I'm thinking of everything.
Okay, so that's
He
the
knows
external
some
side.
lore, and
Yes.
it is coming to fruition. Just hold that thought and sit right there.
That being said,
I
because
think
I
this is
remember
gonna
like
come when
whenever
I
we
get
talked to
breakfast.
Wrath way earlier in the day, so I still was able to channel that Wrath.
Yeah,
or
I
whatever.
genuinely thought you were
technically,
having
yes.
an asthma
Yeah.
attack. So.
Remember how I prayed to ask my mom to see if she would talk to me? Well, I'm gonna see if I can see if Wrath would want
It
to
would
talk
keep
to
you
me.
up all night. Do you know? Have you ever used one?
You were.
It's a steroid.
I will remind you that not only did you have goosebumps last weekend,
Yeah.
but it was terrifyingly chilling just to have Wrath whisper to you.
It made you vomit.
Yeah,
don't
and
forget-
that combined with the sea movement. Yeah,
The
and
hand.
Oh yeah, the caressing hand.
yes,
I'm
I
bending my muscles. I'm trying. Ow.
if
ow.
you want to go for that masochistic type character,
Well, I'm not trying to go for that. I just want to talk.
The
to
opposite
them.
of his last character.
I just want to talk to Wrath, see if, help me see if I can control this aspect of Wrath that's inside of me fully, so it doesn't,
Angry demon baby, help me.
I suppose go ahead and roll for it. How many proficiency points do you have?
Well, I took that nap, so
After
You
a
would
nap,
gain
you get-
back no proficiency points from the short
Naps
nap.
give you health. Full sleep.
oh,
gives you
that's the
health.
case. Then I only had one then.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
spend
well,
the last one.
so
Um,
what I call that one then? Will it just be Rat?
what are your
Rat?
proficiencies again?
So far I had the leadership one, the one-on-one instruction branching from that, Wrath charge, channeling Wrath, which is a full skill now, and then the two-handed strike and the tower shield dash.
I mean the proficiencies, not the skills.
Oh, proficiencies? Oh. Let's
It
see.
should be right here.
General charisma.
Yeah, general charisma, the leadership tactician thing,
Would this be charisma or knowledge?
heavy armor, and then martial weapons custom.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a d20. It's just a straight d20. Nothing happens. You feel that anger in the back of your soul,
we
but
only have one giant god
up-
like being coming after us.
a part of you is still too terrified to try to make that connection.
It's like, alright, well, on that note, I'm going to bed.
Okay.
Well, if this actually causes anything, I guess my going to get breakfast was just a daydream while I was trying.
While you are meditating, it takes you hours and hours of meditating. But about that time when your body would want to actually start falling asleep, you do sense something faint approaching closer. And as you come back to reality for meditation, you can still sense it. There's still something there. You can still hold on to that little feeling, and you get up, looking around. Roll an observation check.
22.
22. You look over the edge of the boat to the east, and you see a light moving through the water. And
How fast?
relatively fast. It's not
Give
like
it a
it's
mock.
charging. A mock?
Like this guy.
A mock measures like
That's really fast.
fast, like fast is in thousands of feet per second.
That's what I was thinking it would be.
No.
Oh,
No,
okay.
this is fast for ocean travel.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, like, don't give it
Um,
the ocean thing, because it's going to be going like fast.
It's in the
the
water.
the ship isn't
I
going
know,
full
but I was
speed.
thinking just a
It's
lot.
not?
The ship isn't going full speed. It's going about half speed because it's the middle of the night. They don't want anything going on with the engines or whatever and
Okay.
whatnot.
Can I roll observation? To
But
see
it
if I
does
know
look
this is
like
out?
the ship and this will come in at least decent proximity, whatever this is.
When I stretch out with my rod, my staff,
Mhm.
it's a metal.
I'm sorry.
It's a metaphor.
Does it feel anything familiar? Do I feel anything in the staff?
Can I roll observation to see if I notice he's up and doing stuff? I'm like right next to him.
You would have been asleep, dead asleep.
I didn't go to sleep.
This is 3 in the morning.
Yeah, I never went to sleep.
He was working.
I worked
Remember
through
he
the
worked
night.
his schematics.
Roll an
and-
observation. I mean, you're focused on your stuff all night.
Yeah, that's 21.
Okay, you do notice him getting up and pointing his quarterstaff over the
I'm
ocean.
gonna stand up and kind of just be ready to be hit by something.
Okay.
Is there anyone above me?
No.
Does no one on lookout?
They
Not
have
in a
the
crow's
things
nest. All the stuff is down currently.
The masts.
The masts are down. The ship is running on steam.
That was me, Craig. That was me realizing.
And is there any? There's no lookouts on the
There's
boat?
one guy that's steering. A couple other people out to the front of the boat.
All right. What's that light?
The everybody else, having not knowing what you're pinpointing, and your amazing skills of observation over the years, and having a feel for what this is, nobody else sees it for the longest time. Everybody's like, "Where is it? Where? And you keep pointing where you see it. And nobody else can see it until like it's within maybe 300 or 400 meters of you guys.
When he yells that, I'm gonna go to the side and look over and see if I can see it.
As
Roll an observation check.
I'm waiting for them,
18.
I end up smacking my staff against the side.
Okay.
Wake up! I yell, "Wake up!"
Okay. So
Do I see it? I got it.
out on the outside of the boat or on the floor?
On the outside.
Okay. Roll a strength check for me.
Not 20.
You hear the entire boat just vibrate with a thung. It sounds like
Battle stations.
I'm looking over. Do I see it with an 18?
You do ever so slightly before the others do.
Okay.
About this time when
Oh, no.
he's shouting battle stations and everything, it takes a minute. There's a lot of shouting. Not everybody's not quite used to this. Typically, it would be the guy on watch to call this, and the guy on watch did not call this. And eventually, with that big resounding thud that's going through the ship and everything, the first mate ends up getting up, and he's throwing on a jacket. He has his trousers still on. He throws on his jacket, comes over to the edge of the boat, and at that, you hear battle stations, and everybody's just going nuts. And everyone is just climbing out of their bunks. Cannons are being loaded and everything.
I'm assuming I woke up for this as well.
Yeah, pretty much. Everybody's just
Is the
waking
boat
up like
slowing
crazy.
down?
No, not at this point. The boat's actually getting sped up. They're actually turning the engines on and moving faster.
Get into battle station. I look to him. While getting into battle stations, don't move the ship too much. I'm going overboard.
Okay. He's like, he looks at you and he's like, we're not slowing. He knows that you're deaf.
I'm standing next to him. I give him the pad and paper.
He's halfway across the ship from you.
Okay, never mind. I thought
You
he was-
do shout this at him, but he shouts at a couple other men. They actually try to restrain you. If you're gonna jump over, then you need to roll a dexterity
Can
check.
I first roll a charisma check?
Being that you're deaf and he's the person that he is, I would say not even a chance is this guy gonna even take a charisma check from you. He is the first mate of the entire ship.
Do I know you can do the whole underwater missile thing?
No, he doesn't.
No one
Okay, then
does.
I'm gonna go.
The
like,
only person that knows that I can do water is the captain.
I thought all of us knew you could manipulate water by now.
No. Not even him.
No, I just know that he has a weird lightning staff because it struck me with lightning. That's all I know. I don't know
Okay.
anything else but water.
Then I'm gonna be like really surprised and go, no.
I'm like, can you hold on to my staff for me?
Roll a charisma check for that.
Are you asking me?
If he doesn't, I'm just gonna drop it on him.
Yeah, I know, but
Oh,
roll a
God.
charisma check.
Wait, he can't even hold it to begin
Six
with.
to exactly.
He reaches out. It's just one of the deckhands. There's a couple trying to grab you, and immediately, and his hands. He's broken a couple fingers, obviously.
I
by
pick
trying-
it back up. Who's next?
And roll an intimidation check.
What is intimidate? Charisma?
It's charisma.
Okay, 14.
14. And what's your primary charisma style?
I don't know what that means.
Are you? What's your trait? Like I'm kind. You have that thing where you have to add or subtract a certain amount.
Or maybe he never ended up having that. Okay, we'll pass it on for later.
Okay. What's your primary trait? Personality-wise.
Man, I've changed alignment 3 times. Alright, don't even get me started on that.
Confused.
What did you start out with? I can't remember.
I started with light.
With light? Okay, that really didn't change when the corruption was there, but it didn't change your
It
alignment
makes
too
you
much.
a grumpy light,
Oh
basically.
my God, man, I have 3
Grumpy
different
light.
elements running through my body.
I'm very
It's like
confused
puberty.
about your ideas. Right now.
Everyone
It's like
stops and
puberty.
pauses for a moment. The guy's sitting there with the broken fingers. He's obviously a little shocked. The boat is still speeding up.
I go forward and try to like put my hand on your shoulder and like say, "Are you okay?" And like try to like gesture towards you, like.
Can
"What's
you
wrong?"
get in on them? Because I'm being surrounded by people.
There's enough room for
I'm
him to
standing
get in.
Okay.
right next to you when this starts.
Okay.
Where am I in all of this?
You're coming up from under the deck.
Yeah.
Whatever
You're like,
clothes you'd be
why is there
wearing up.
noises?
I
Well,
mean, I heard battle
Did you hear
stations.
battle stations?
I'm
That was pretty
sure I
loud.
heard that one. I mean, it came twice. Once
Yeah,
from
you shouted and then the
and
second,
then the
first
first
mate.
name.
Sorry. I keep
Um.
thinking second in command.
Anyway, are you gonna just try to jump over? Or are you gonna pay attention to your friends?
Yeah, I ask you like try and gesture. Are you? What's wrong? What's happening?
And you said something feels familiar?
Slightly familiar, yes.
In what way? Like a
Roll
long
an
lost
observation
friend?
check.
17?
17. It doesn't feel old. It's a fresh feeling, but it seems familiar in some way. It's a feeling you haven't felt before, but at the same time it feels familiar.
You're
I
not
guess-
there yet. I guess.
Yeah, I guess I'm
I
still
look to
walking
you.
up. Okay, I guess I'll
Talk.
say I'm right here.
Talk to the... I keep on saying vice president. What the heck?
First mate.
First mate.
Get to the vice president somehow in another world.
Get down,
in another
Mr.
time.
President.
Anyway.
Get the captain. Get the vice president. You keep getting in the way.
Anyway,
First
that's
impression.
what you were saying.
Get them both. Talk to them. Let them know not to attack yet. But I want
Okay.
everybody on a cannon.
Okay.
You...
Yes.
Good?
Yes.
Alright, I come
You
up.
jump?
Okay, I
Jump.
turn. Okay, does he make it first?
Roll an agility check. You got your D4 on top of that.
I'll do strength first. I'll just barrel through them.
I'm just saying, I'm looking to see if you go on the water or if you actually go in.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
You got a
Yeah,
D4 on top of
advantage,
that.
That's agility, not dex.
I asked for an
You're doing
agility
agility.
check.
Oh, I heard dex. 4, 15, 20.
Yeah, you
You,
right
like,
into the water.
Superman dive.
Hold my staff out
Yeah.
and start kicking. And I get going.
Okay. So
I guess I do agility to get to the first mate as fast as possible, like jumping, flipping around people, stuff like that.
okay.
So, did I finally come out of my room or whatever? Like,
Yeah, you're out on deck. You have no idea what's going on.
Did I see all of this just happen? Just be like, what the hell? Why did you jump overboard?
Roll an observance check.
Yeah, 24.
24. Yeah, you came up deck. You saw what was going
got a
on. You heard the
17.
first mate shouting on them to restraining him, and then he just.
Do I swim at an unnatural speed? With my 2 times speed?
With your 2 times speed, it would be kind of unnatural, but it's almost as though the water just kind of propels you forward per se.
I got 17 to get to him.
17. Okay. Upon hearing the captain is right up there next to the first mate, they're looking to see what the heck is going on. They don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
I walk up.
Oh, I'm running over to the edge first and be like, what? Why do you just jump over? What the hell's going on?
Okay, I go.
Do you see the light?
There's something in the water.
Do
My
I see
friend
the light?
knows what's going on. He's trying to deal with it so that we don't have to fight. Get the cannons all ready, and be ready to not reuse. Be ready to fight, but don't attack yet.
Okay. Roll a charisma check.
That being said, do I see the light?
+7. Do I get +7? 21.
Okay. They both take you at your word. They load all the cannons. Everything's been half loaded by the time you started talking. By the time you're done, they're holding cannons waiting for a captain to say fire. There's a strange glowing under the water.
Is it under the boat?
I
or
was gonna
next to the
ask
boat?
like if I see the water or the glowing thing, and I rolled a 22 for it.
22. Yeah, you see something light spot out in the water
Do
glowing.
you see me?
Do I see him?
Roll
swimming
an
around?
observance check.
No, I mean again.
Yeah.
Okay. 18.
No, you don't see him.
I'm gonna walk. I'm
You're
gonna look
actually
and see.
submerged under the water, shooting through it.
Can I
basically.
look and see if I see him?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
How long can I hold my breath?
No, I don't.
You have about what's your vitality?
8.
8. You can hold your breath for just over a minute. It's actually a minute 20 seconds. 10 seconds for every vitality you have.
That's actually pretty good.
Nah.
It's
Roll an observance check upon
So
shooting
80.
through the water, though.
Hmm?
Roll an observance check as you shoot through the water.
14.
Okay. Lucky day, it's a 14. As you shoot under the water, the ocean is very clear. It's not a deep filled with whatnot all over the place. And even though you can see that it's dark and it's very deep here, you see as you're shooting through the water, it takes about 30 seconds, 40 seconds before you start to see anything.
Okay.
But you can still see a haze of light through the water in the distance.
As I'm swimming, I'm going to try to send thoughts out towards it.
Okay. Nothing apparently tries to come back to you. You're not feeling anything back. You just feel a familiar feeling still from your meditation.
Okay.
It's about this time that you start to see
Would
through
we
the
feel
darkness of the water. No. Through the darkness of the water, you actually see a humanoid figure. It stands underwater. It stands about 600 meters tall. And it is all one giant glowing mass of light. Long, flowing hair, just slowly walking through the water. On the surface, you and Nate, you start seeing this slow rippling wave as just barely under the surface of the water there is this giant light, and you actually start to see as well that there's this giant humanoid figure walking, just kind of slowly striding like a casual walk, but it's really slow. Imagine the drag of the water when you try to walk through it at the beach. Just trying to walk and move your legs through the water.
Can I
So
tell
is it
what
still
this
moving?
thing is?
Roll a knowledge check.
Nope.
It's 21.
21.
I rolled. No, I did not know what it was.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 2.
Well, I rolled a 1. So
Oh, we both know what this is.
This is a legend. There are very few sailors that have ever seen this in their life.
Is it
And-
still moving real quick?
Yeah, it is still moving slowly. It's about this time that everyone on the deck has become dead silent and they're just watching because they realize what this is.
Okay.
And everyone is just shocked. And the fact alone that someone actually sounded the alarm and woke them up to see this, that everybody's like elated and excited, but also deadly stunned and quiet. And
We're getting some serious street cred out here because of you and you.
basically, this is a legendary creature that has only ever been heard of by most sailors.
I'm going to take out my notebook and like do a quick sketch of it.
Okay, roll a dexterity check.
Plus 8, so that's 16.
You have a rough outline of a figure, and you got lines going out from all around it to show that it's glowing. This is one of the 6 legendary titans of the world. And this is the Titan of Light, and has only ever been seen by very, very few sailors. What are you doing?
I don't know this.
After my quick sketch, I'm just standing in awe.
All I know
Roll
is
a
that
knowledge check.
All I know is it feels familiar, and it doesn't feel old, so it's definitely not something I would know. Everything I know is old.
I thought the Titans were older than...
The Titans are as old as the planet itself.
So yes, that is old.
Oh, I thought you said it
But this
wasn't.
isn't an old familiar feeling to you. It's
Oh,
not like
not old to
this
him.
isn't like you and
Okay.
Chummy Wrath, old times nostalgia, old.
Okay.
It
I
does
thought you
feel
meant like
ancient.
I thought-
It does feel ancient.
It does feel ancient.
Okay, I got you.
Okay, I was confused.
3.
So yeah, you know what it is because you got a 1.
Knowledge.
Yeah, because if you didn't get a
6.
1, you've heard of this before. You actually heard of it when you were sailing. A lot of people have talked about this in sailing voyages. In your previous, most recent experience, you've actually come into contact with the heart of the water titan. And you realize this is actually the Titan of Light. And you are one of the luckiest people in the world because you have actually seen 2 up close and personal within a week of each other.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm about to die.
Are there like rope ladders going down?
There are wooden ones. You could throw a rope ladder over if you wanted to.
Okay. Would it splash really hard in the water? Okay.
Probably not.
I want to do that, and I want to climb down and like stick my head under the water. So I
Okay,
can see it.
roll a dexterity check.
I thought this would be agility.
Nope, dexterity.
Okay. I'm blind. Okay. So that's 14.
14. You can get down to the ladder, but you're having a hard time getting your head down to the water without
I guess
actually.
I phrased that wrong. I was gonna get in the water, but I was just gonna be at the surface.
Okay, well you leave the boat behind.
It's moving forward.
It's moving forward very fast.
It's still moving?
Yeah, it's still moving.
Well, shit. You're gonna have to carry me back to the boat.
So you're in the water. Boat just leaves behind. Roll a dex check.
Oh gosh.
Fuck. What? Am I dead? Am I dead?
You might be. You forget that this is a steam-propelled ship, and you just jumped into the water.
Oh, I was still holding onto the ladder.
You would have to get off the ladder to get into the water, and
I'm in the water holding the ladder. The ladder's in the water, isn't it?
You failed your dex check.
I.
Yeah, you lost hold of that ladder.
Okay.
What's your vitality rating?
Come on, man! Don't kill me. I like this character.
I like it too.
Well, then don't kill me. 6.
6.
Yeah. Can I roll a luck thing?
I gotta roll a percentage die because this is ridiculously.
To be completely honest, I forgot it was a steam-powered boat. Ryus wouldn't have forgotten that.
Even at that, you're not familiar with what's under the boat going on while the thing is moving forward.
I would think the lake would knock me away from the boat.
Actually, the propellers
I'm
suck
asking
you
you
in.
to do this for me.
I'm gonna roll 2 dice. I'm giving you a chance. I'm rolling the dice on this one. It's not my decision. If the white die is higher than the dark die, then you will retain conscious. Or you will not go to where the health points were gonna go.
Can I do one thing real quick?
That is a 3
Can
over
I do
a 4.
one thing real quick?
What do you wanna do?
I'm still equipped. I'm going to... It's a wooden boat. So,
You would have been spending. You would not have taken your shield or your sword or
Yeah, I
anything
did.
over the
I was
edge.
fully equipped.
You can have them on your back and whatnot.
It's sheathed.
Sheath, yeah.
So I'm going to quickly take it out and stick it into the boat to try and stick to it.
Roll a dex check. Nope.
16?
Nope.
Dude, don't kill me.
Not on
please.
an 8. You get sucked into the propellers and you get sliced in half.
Dude, I'm not... This isn't cool.
It's. I rolled dice so many times on that one.
This ain't right.
Oh,
You
man.
can't kill me on a technicality like this.
Uh,
Just be nice tonight, please.
I tell you what, we're gonna leave it right there for this week, and we're gonna talk over it the rest of the week, and I'll think about it. We're gonna leave it right there because I do not know what to do with this one. I'm gonna talk to some of my other DM friends.
Just throw me to the side of the lake or something. Come on.
I have to think about this one, and it's 10:17, so we got to be out of here in less than 13 minutes. Anyway, so
The real question is, why'd you want to get off the boat in the first
I
place?
wanted to go see it.
Yeah, it's a Titan. Congratulations. I don't want to walk off the boat.
I was gonna hang off the ladder and put my head under the water in the water.
which at that point that is a very hard thing to do dexterous because the ladder doesn't actually reach the whole way down to the water.
I thought you said it would go to the water.
It gets above the water, like a foot or two up there, but hanging from a rope ladder.
I asked if it went down really hard into the water. You said not really, so I
No.
thought it went down to the water.
No, it doesn't. It gets like a foot above the water. It doesn't like splash into the water. We're gonna have to cut it for the night because we got like 12 minutes
Because
left
he won't
before
just let me
10:30.
live, luckily.
He has. The rule is you die at 30 points of or at 30 or at half points past your max. He took 9 times 10, and he has 60 health. So he took 90 points of damage, which is time and a half times his health.
Well, you know, if anyone could heal you back, it's in the water.
That is true.
We'll see how it goes over this next week. I gotta talk to some of my other DM friends about this.
You could just have the Light Titans heal me.
I've thought about it already. But then again, the Titans do not typically take... Men do not usually take into account the workings of ants. So,
Yes, but there's always that thing in a story where the god takes pity on the small being.
I still have to figure out this. You're still swimming out in the water. You had advantage. You dived off. You avoided, getting caught in the wake. Plus, you're a water control person.
And with my 22.
Yeah, you were fine. I wasn't worried about that. But I've been on rope ladders. I hate rope ladders. They're hard to climb. And he wants to hang off of one into the water and
See, that's the thing. I thought it was in the water, so I'd just be holding onto a rope while my head's underwater, so it wouldn't be that difficult. I didn't know it was a foot above the water.
even if you were hanging from the very bottom rung, you rolled your dex check and you failed it and you got dragged
No, I'm
into
not
the water.
saying that. I misunderstood what you said.
Yeah, but still, yeah. Even if it was down in the water, you still failed your dex
I
check.
understand that for the
So.
5th time.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to leave it and call it a week, and we're gonna leave it hanging. So, hate to do it, folks, but that is where we were leaving it tonight, because it is 10:20. Have a good night, folks.